What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dream Shirt Studios, actually Dream Shirt Podcast. This is my good friend Jacob Magallanes.
Hello, everybody.
He is the owner of M&J Screen Printing, and he is actually my first printer that I've ever used in Dream Shirt Studios. I was a broker when I started. This man taught me everything I knew in the beginning, for real.
Yeah, I remember the beginning. I
Yeah.
remember the first day you came in. I was like, who's this random guy?
With my paper resume.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. Even Michael was like, well, yeah, Michael, the other owner of M&J Screen.
M&J is Michael, M, and Jacob.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
Michael was like, we shouldn't even hire this guy.
You should not?
Well, he was like, he didn't like you at first. I don't know. He was like pissed that you just walked in. And then I was like, oh, he's a nice guy.
I mean,
He's
yeah.
so nice. You had a resume. You were from San Diego.
It's true.
Like, you drove all the way from San Diego.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I mean,
I liked you more at the time.
I knew I was going to move to
Things
Orange County.
changed.
I still remember that first day. I remember you had a desk
Uh-huh.
right in the middle of the shop.
Oh yeah, so we can
You-
afford another office.
Yeah.
We had to put it right there to watch production.
You were just sitting there, and I was like, "Hello, hire me."
Yeah,
I did that
it's
with
pretty
like
wild.
6 other shops,
Yeah.
and
I thought you had balls. I even told Michael, I was like, "This guy's got balls. This guy's got some cojones on him."
First thing you asked me. Do you remember the first thing you asked me?
Have you been stabbed?
No.
Okay, that's probably like what 6.
I'm pretty sure that was 6 question. No, question number 6. I remember you asked me like right away. You were like, "Have you ever done drugs?"
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, "Yes." I've done
See, at
drugs."
that time, I didn't have employees, so I did not know the law about what you could or could not ask.
We're talking about
Steak?
how you hired me.
Oh yeah.
So that was back in what 2020,
21.
20 or 21?
That was before COVID. Wasn't it? That's maybe 2019.
No, it was after COVID.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Because I moved from San Diego to Orange County after COVID. I only
That was
moved
after COVID.
I only moved to Orange County because of Cal State Fullerton. I got accepted in Cal State Fullerton.
One time when it's messed up.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember that.
I started Dream Shirt Studios in October of 2021.
So you came a little bit before that because you didn't have.
Yeah. So I probably came to you guys back in July of 2021. It took me 4 months to even consider the idea of starting Dream Shirt Studios.
And then I remember you're like, I dropped out of high school. Oh no, I dropped out of
Dropped out of college.
And I was like, Michael was pissed at that time.
I remember because we had so many conversations of like, are you gonna do this or you're not gonna do this?
Yeah.
And then I started, and then I started going like good. It took me like 2 months to get my first order.
Hey, dude, it took us a month to do 10 t-shirts one time
Yeah,
when we first started. So understandable. That's better, I guess. That's a lot better. Trust me.
I do remember that one moment where it was me, you, and Brendan just started Cryptic, and he was like, "I got an order," and I remember you looked at me and you were like, "When are you gonna get your order?" And I remember feeling so like just like embarrassed, and just like and then you were like, "Okay, chill out, you're gonna get it, don't worry."
Yeah.
And like that day after, I remember I got like an order for like 72 pieces. It was that Golden Girl CMYK order that we did.
That sounds familiar.
It was like the Shaka wear. It was like pink shirts and black shirts.
Yeah.
I had that one picture of me going like this on my
Yeah.
Instagram. Like that was my first thing. That was our first order.
That's great.
And
No, that was your first one.
Yeah. Actually, no, the first one, remember, was those little bags that I did myself. Those little like
I probably wasn't there.
I don't think you were there. I remember
Yeah.
doing those by myself.
Yeah, I probably wasn't there. I don't remember at that time. I don't think I was on the production floor as much as Mike. I think we swapped. Me and Michael would swap.
Yeah.
Like every quarter, we'd swap something like that. And I feel like I wasn't there at that time. Cause I don't really remember seeing you producing or us producing the Golden Girl.
Golden Girl.
I just remember like seeing it.
Golden Boy. My bad.
Yeah.
Golden
Because I
Boy.
remember
It was a
we
big
had
girl.
some extras. We had some on our rack.
Yeah. Exactly. I
And
remember
when
that.
we moved, I remember like looking at this one. I was like, you know.
Because that was CMYK.
Yeah. and I don't
Our
like
first
CMYK,
job was
dude.
CMYK.
I don't like CMYK. I just never have. That's why I was like, everything that was on the rack that was CMYK, I was like, oh, get out of here.
And I remember this having so much confidence. I was like, I can do this separation. I can do this separation. Michael was like, no, you are not doing this separation for 72 pieces. It's just not going to come out well. This is your first time. You're not going to do this. And I was like,
It's tough. So CMYK separations are not easy.
no, I was thinking a similar process.
Yeah, it would have been like what, like 10 colors, 8 colors.
8 colors. We didn't have 10
Yeah, I know
at that point.
But it would have been like too hard to do.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember. Even then, I don't even think Michael did the separations then.
No, he sent them out. He sent them out. I remember that. I remember that one specific. He sent them out because I remember I was like, "Hey, Michael, can I see the separation? Can I study it?" And he sent it to me from the guy that he used in Pakistan or something like that.
Yeah, his
And-
name was like Ruben.
Something like that.
He still messaged us today.
Yeah.
He's like, "You at
Yeah.
work?" I said, "Nope."
Yeah.
Sorry, Ruben. We were his cash cow. Send him so much money.
Yeah.
I felt bad. Felt
Yeah.
like a family.
Fiverr. I remember I messaged him once. He did something for me. But yeah, I've only used him once. But
Oh no, we had two, Ruben and that guy. Then we cut that guy out. And then with the Ruben, we with that Ruben out.
so I mean, one thing I definitely wanted to ask you, because I didn't know you from you started. I remember when I started with you, you were already like 6 years in.
Yeah.
What did you like? Let's say somebody wanted to start their own screen print business. What have you learned? Like, what would you have advised doing differently in from day one to when I met you, or even now? Like, let's say somebody wanted to do what I did or start their own business. What would you recommend them
Well,
doing?
I think there's like two scenarios. One scenario going to be a broker or doing your shop. I think the best scenario is become a broker and then make your own shop. Just because you don't have to worry about bills, employees, rent, liability, everything like that. Because we went shop route. We didn't even know about the broker route. We just did shop and it was tough. we acquired. Well, we didn't get any like loans or anything like that. We started right out of high school,
Yeah.
and it was just everything was just against us. So we acquired a lot of debt, and that just kind of sucked. But if I was to do it again, I'd probably just do the broker route first for a couple of years until you either get a big client or you get a more custom, your order starts flowing in,
No.
and then looking to get a shop. Looking to get a space that you want to do it. If you want to do it, you don't have to do that. Brokers make good money if you have the clients.
Yeah.
Now then, if you want to go to the shop, you can totally do that. I would probably stick to manual, unless you get like big clients. You need the autos.
What is a big client?
I don't know, looking at anything like above probably like it depends on the order type, but probably around 500 to 1,000 pieces a month.
A month.
Yeah, a month would probably be pretty good. Which there's a lot you can do: streetwear, movies, production, promotion, bands, tours. You'd be surprised, man. I have a gym client that does it feels like 2,000 units a month, dude. And I'm like, what? This gym, like these people. And then I have and then I work with people like Focus Features, right, or like Universal, and they'll do only like a couple thousand every so often.
Yeah.
Because you're competing with everybody.
Yeah.
So then this gym client ends up being better.
Yeah.
It's like why it kind of like that. It's so big. It's more like, oh yeah, they trust me.
Yeah.
But I focus more on this client because they pay more.
Yeah, because Universal's gonna be looking for what's the best price. What's the
Yeah,
best price?
and
For
they
the
want-
gym, let's just say for a gym, they're gonna be like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, it's more
Like
about-
they're more of like a loyal customer rather
total
than
personality.
Yeah.
They like me. It's same thing. I would do that. Focus on getting like a good client. It can be like a little local chain, like a coffee shop. I have like a couple coffee shops.
get some merch.
Yeah, they need merch. They might not even have merch. That's your job to sell them the merch.
Yeah.
And then show them like, hey, there's this coffee shop that has shirts, hoodies, hats, even bags or whatever. We should do that for you, and then you get that. And maybe they might not order 500, 1,000, but they order a couple hundred every month. Every 2 months, and next you know it, that's like an easy like $1,000 a month
Yeah.
as a broker, and then you get a couple of those. And next you know, you get a shop, pay some bills. Your mom will be happy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would say that for us when we first started, it was all bands. We did the whole music scene in SoCal.
Yeah. I remember a whole bunch of bands coming out of your place.
Yeah, it was like pretty much all we had. Like the only people that would trust us too. So it was hard, especially it was hard going to like these bigger clients and being like, I don't remember how old I was, like my early 20s. I'm like, yeah, man, trust me. And then they would be like, we don't know you, and on Instagram only had like, I don't know, a couple hundred followers at the time,
Yeah.
something like that. And I'm like, please,
I got
I
it.
can do it. Trust me, I have a whole shop. And they're like, no, and then this band from like Ventura, I'd be like, yeah, man, we had like 200 pieces.
Yeah.
Or like this little record label. I think there was a record label we did in like around Ventura too that was like, yeah, man, we need merch for all my bands. And it was like, probably like 10 bands, but like 50 pieces each band. So that was a good client for the time. I
Yeah.
remember I was like, dude, hell yeah.
We're killing it right
And then,
now.
then we would do like pop-ups and tours for the like 2 or 3 record labels in the music scene, like the underground music scene.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. That's probably the first 5 years, I'd say. And then we transitioned to streetwear and stuff. But then we were at that time when Instagram started growing and we met certain clients that opened the door for other things.
Yeah.
You know, that's about being brokers. Like you find somebody, or not just a broker, but once you become like a manufacturer, you get more connections.
Yeah. Especially when like they recommend.
Yeah, it's more word of
Around.
mouth. You know, word of mouth is really good because like that's how I met like, you know, 824 is like one of my biggest sites right now. It's like word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, I've never even met the person.
Yeah.
I don't know what they look like, but man, there's like, we've done a lot of movies. Right now, we're doing this big movie that comes out. We're got 1 month. Whether it's I'm excited to see the movie. You know, but
I know. I saw you did you did Sinners, right?
so yeah,
Yeah.
that was for Focus Features, which isn't technically my. I feel like I'm broker, but it's technically my client. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a third party service, which is another thing too, man. Once you get so something I didn't know in the beginning was promotional businesses. So, you know, we're manufactural.
Of course.
We don't have, you know, for example, like Universal, they don't know how screen printing works. They don't really know graphic design. They just want a designer to like make it happen.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, okay, but they don't talk to us, the manufacturers. They hire a company to make the graphic, to source the items, and to do it for them.
Yeah.
That's a promotion company.
Right.
So I didn't know that for like the first 5-8 years. Like, dude, I should just go to the promotion companies and offer my service, join their vendor pool. So that's something that I probably started doing in like the last 4 or 5 years.
So like the Universal basically thinks that promotion company is doing what you're doing.
Pretty much.
Like they just put all the responsibility like, hey, figure this out.
Yeah, so that promotion company is brokering it out to us, a manufacturer, and they're not really doing. They'll have an auto. I've met a few that do print in house or have an embroidery machine or whatever, but most of the time, dude, they have like one office and it's just like a dude making the artwork, making the decks, and then sending it out to us, and then they'll charge a crap ton of money, like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen some of the invoices. I remember that's actually how I got one of my biggest breakthroughs was one of my actually finding Michael's neighbor owned a promotion company, and he was like, dude, you're gonna screen print? And then he like just brought us down, and then he made our first website. And then he's like, yeah, this is how much. And then he showed us our invoices. He showed us invoices for like his clients. Like, yeah, man, I charge this guys like $10,000 just to talk to them. And I'm like, what?
What?
I was like, what do you mean? And people pay that? He's like, yeah. And that was like a game changer for me because I was, dude, we should start working with promotion clients, you know? So then we started doing that, and the money's a lot better.
Yeah.
Because like they don't, like you said, we're like talking to Universal, they don't know shit. So then we go to the promotion companies. They don't really know shit either, but they know more. You know,
they know more about design.
Let's just make it happen, you know, and then we charge them $5 print or whatever. And we're like, yeah, next you know, I'm paying my bills.
Because one thing that clients really don't know anything about screen printing.
Oh yeah, most
they don't know anything about screen printing.
It's kind of weird when like if you've seen a manual press in the wild, you wouldn't even know what it is.
Yeah, and I remember like, let's say 5 years ago, I would be the exact same way. I would be like, what the fuck?
I remember when we first got our first manual, Michael's mom was like, how loud is it? You know, and you know, most people don't know, but a manual makes no noise.
It just clicks.
It clicks, but like you wouldn't know. It's not like a big machinery.
Yeah.
It makes no noise.
Yeah, it's not electric at all.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, you wouldn't even probably notice the sound.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I thought that was so funny. I was like, oh yeah, it's loud. You know, like, watch out. But an automatic machine is a lot louder.
For sure.
So unless you get electric, but most likely most people will never see an electric one. Yeah, they're very rare.
I mean, yeah. All the
There's only one brand. So
what, M&R?
No, Avatar makes electric. So M&R is air. Yeah. And that's super loud. Yeah. Especially with the compressors, man. Yeah. It sounds like you're gonna die.
Yeah, I came in. Literally, the other shop has this freaking huge warehouse, and when the compressor's on, I can barely hear anything.
Yeah, most shops have to have a room for the compressor. It's crazy how loud it is. Yeah. Like I remember, a compressor we had, I hated it, even though they were like, "Yeah, it's a quiet one." I was like, "This is a quiet one." This is crazy.
Yeah.
So even at the shop right now, they literally have the compressor. We have it in this tiny room, and it's like covered in like the soundproof stuff. We don't hear it. We barely hear it, dude.
Smart.
But the place is over 20,000 square feet. You
Yeah.
can still hear it, but it's not like a fake, like someone screaming in the locker room. Let me out. So that's still out.
I mean, all right. One thing, like, I wrote this question down because really, I wanted to ask myself, like, if you were to just give, like, if you were to give every client that ever ordered and it's going to order in the future, like this, like, kind of blueprint of what to know before you order, what would you want them to know? Like, what I know, like, a lot of the times some clients come to you and you're just like, how do you not know anything? Like, but what would you want? Like, if someone were just starting their brand right now or starting their whatever and wanting to order shirts, like, what would you like give them to be like, make sure you do this to sound smart when you're ordering?
I think it most has to do with the art. So
Art?
Yeah, the art, and then just the check back. So a lot of the problems we get with art is either it's not, it'd be like 1 inch by 1 inch, and then they want it like jumbo. So then it's not vectored. Then we like expand it, and the art will just distort and it'll look all blurry.
Yeah.
So I feel like if the client knew how to design something, or they know how to spoke to their artists, that would solve a lot of problems on our end and on their end. Because for us, for example, our art team, when they do something like that, it's gonna get blurry, and then when it needs to be vectorized, or it costs more. Most of the time, it has to be redone anyways, so you're paying twice for the art.
Yeah.
So if I was able to tell them, hey, design the art on a board that you want it to be, like, however big you actually want it to be, because we do jumbo a lot, so it's like 18 by 24. Most of the time, the art doesn't fit on that board because it's not designed correctly. It'll be like 24 by 12 or 12 by 24. It'll be, super narrow and then tall, or it'll be super wide and then short, and the clients complain on why
It's not jumbo.
Yeah, it's not jumbo. I'm like, technically it is, but your art didn't allow us to do it.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the main problems I would tell people. I would also advise people just to focus on like 1 or 2 designs, and in the beginning, like
Yeah. A lot of people get excited.
Yeah, we get a lot of brands, like newer brands, are like, dude, I'm gonna drop like 10 designs. For me, that's good. I make a lot of money.
Of course,
But
but
I'm not really in it for the money. I'm more in it for the long-term client.
yeah.
So I usually advise this client, hey, let's dial in these like 2 designs, and then let's focus on these later on.
Yeah.
And most of the time they'll be like, oh yeah, then they'll order more of those, whatever.
The previous designs.
The first design, and then we'll do the other ones later. But that's probably what I would do. Either let's really dial in a couple of designs with like the placements, the sizing. Because another thing with placements too, people don't know placements.
Huh.
But like they'll send you a mock-up and they're like this, and then we'll send them like the real life mock-up, like, hey, we did it, and they're like, oh, I don't like the placement. We're like, this is the placement based off your mock-up.
Yeah.
Or based off our standards, right? We'll be like, okay, if the design is super tall, we'll put it higher up on the shirt. If the design's like, shorter, we'll put it lower on the shirt. And we kind of already know, how far it goes down, how far left chest goes down, stuff like that. But clients don't know, and they get kind of upset when things don't look a certain way, and, having to explain to them. So I would say one thing that we've been doing lately is laying the shirt flat and then putting a digital picture of the design on the shirt and with the measurements and all this, sending it to them. That kind of helps.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when somebody puts the shirt on, you don't know,
Where it's gonna sit.
Yeah, where it's gonna sit. Some people are bigger, some people they're more narrow.
And every size is different.
Yeah, and every size is different. So, I've had clients be like, "Why does it look different on me?" And I'm like, "It looks good on that guy. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, but
And it's funny because like they make the mock-up in like 10 seconds
oh yeah,
without thinking that this is the only thing the printer is going off of. So it's like they're just like, hey, this is what I want. And they have the idea of like, oh, okay, it's going to look exactly the way I want it in my head. But it's like, you made the mock-up in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And this is all of our blueprint. So we're going to match this exactly the way it's supposed to be.
I mean, we know how to match it too.
Yeah, we know, like, for example, standards. Like, okay, from the center, we have 2 inches, from down, if it's a certain size. But it's like, even every front left chest.
Yeah.
You're going to place it
just
different.
I feel like that looks like the easiest, but it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, especially the design shaped weird.
Oh yeah, and it's like usually I say anything like more than 5 wide is gonna look weird. my
Yeah.
left chest because it's just so big that it almost looks like a centerpiece. And it's gonna be like my whole freaking chest right here, and
Yeah.
people be like, "Oh, it's huge." I'm like, yeah, I mean, sure, but I don't know what to tell you. But I would say in a placement too, like if I had to tell people, it's like design it correctly and then make sure your placements are adequate. And yeah, just make sure you know how far down it's gonna go from the collar or like this top seam. And then that's pretty much it because anything else usually comes from us telling you on the way.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna make this. We buy some exchanges. Hey, we usually send approvals for our work and the production, and then quote. So we have 3 approvals that we don't really want. We still even get problems at that stage, you know.
Yeah.
Like things will happen. Like it's like the other day I had this one client. I was like, dude, it's like literally a millimeter smaller than the artwork, and I'm like, it's not really millimeters because some shirts shrink when we put it in the heater. It's like the fabric or the ink is, sometimes stuff will happen. It's like literally a millimeter. I'm not even exaggerating. And I had to explain to the guy, like, look, it's not, you won't notice. No one is going to DM you and explain the millimeter. Like, if it was a half an inch.
See, that's the hard part when you have to reason with a client that is very much detail oriented, because they think to themselves, like, this is how I had it in my head, and it's not exactly what I had it in my head. And then you want to tell them, like, no one's going to notice. Yeah. But of course, you have to kind of go with them because it's them. They're the client.
The person. I really love it.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow. And I'm like, I know. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've been doing this. I know you're going to love it. If I don't love it, here's the thing too. I'm super detail oriented and I like my job.
Yeah.
If I usually see everything before, if I have a problem, like I know you're not going to like it, I usually tell our artists, production, like this guy's not going to like it. Let's make these changes now before
you send them a picture.
Yeah. Let's make the changes now before we even get to that stage. So like, I'm also thinking of you before, that even happens. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, we have no changes. Because if we have to do it at that stage and causes problems, you got to think about we're paying employee time. I think everybody makes pretty good money. And, we got to wait 3 hours. I think our auto has 2 guys per machine. We got a supervisor. Dude, that's like a bunch of money.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, let's wait. Let me think about it. And like 2 hours pass. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I just lost like at least $60 in time. That's what people don't think about, the time that goes into it.
Oh, I know.
But somebody who could do it at home, they
can sit there forever.
Yeah. But we're paying wages. California breathed down my back about you gotta pay adequate wages, and OSHA is gonna walk in at any second.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, OSHA. It goes.
Where's OSHA?
I've never in my 10 years. By the way, it'll be 10 years next month.
Congrats. Congrats.
So in my 10 years, I've never seen them. I don't know. Yeah, I know, right? I've never seen them. Everybody I know has not seen them. I feel like they're just some weird.
Maybe.
They're like the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sometimes I think it's funny. When I moved out of my friend's warehouse, we were getting electrical, like taking out electrical. Let's finish this.
I remember how much electrical you added.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, dude. And we were like, let's take all the parts we can. And one of the guys was like, one of the guys was telling us, yeah, I don't know, I've never seen OSHA, but everything here's messed up, And I was like, hey, this isn't, I didn't do this, is all cute.
Yeah, right when I got here.
It's like me, and I thought that was funny because like I actually looked up and I was like, dude, everything is, wow, it really is messed up. Where is OSHA? At one time the city tried to find me because we had the water, how you clean screens?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember if you were there at the time, but the city I was working where I was, they were trying to find us for dumping water outside in the grass. I was like, what are you talking about? Where do you want to put this water? And like, the water has chemicals in it. I was like, how would you know?
I remember the way you did it was smart. I remember the way you did it was incredibly smart.
Yeah.
With the vacuum thing and you like put it
into the toilet and
yeah.
So, but at that time, the city, we were dumping outside. We didn't know what to do with it because we didn't.
Was that in your house? Garage?
No, this is when we moved out. When we did it in the house, we did dump it in the grass.
Yeah.
And the grass died.
Yeah.
In the area because of the emulsion.
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah. So no grass.
No grass.
Area.
If you want to kill grass, put emulsion.
Yeah, it would might kill other things too. No, I advise no emulsion outside in the environment.
Yeah.
You might break some laws. But we pretty much, anyways, we moved to the warehouse and we started dumping it. We actually separated we had a thing where we separated, dumped the water out in the back. And I think we just kept the emulsion because it was too thick to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So I think at that time we were like, oh, we use water-based emulsion. So it was like kind of just fading really quickly.
Yeah.
But at the government would like, not the government, the city was like, you gotta do something with the water. I was like, it's a water. One watering the grass. Like
it just so happens to be dying, but
it just so happens the grass is blue. All right, buddy. No, but they couldn't see it, so we had a gate. So the government would come, or the city would come and look through the gate, like, what are you doing? Spray water. And they're like, no. And then that's when we did the vacuum thing. We vacuumed it down the drain.
That's when I got to you guys.
Yeah, and that worked out pretty well. But then our neighbor became a screen printer, and they copied us, and they flooded the whole building.
I remember when it stopped. I remember when like that sink that you guys used to put it in just completely stopped.
No, so that was actually our fault. But
nice.
And then they did it, and then they flooded the whole building. Like literally, they did it after us. So we were like, we're not gonna do it anymore, and we need to get somebody to clean it. And that's when we learned about then we started separating the stuff, so it's just straight water. But they did it. They didn't know. They were just copying us, and then they flooded the whole building. That was a great time because I was like, oh my god, Michael, they're gonna blame us. They're gonna blame us. OSHA's gonna come, and then we're like, oh no, it was the help, and then they got kicked out.
Yeah. Like when did you know? Like, all right, go from the garage to the warehouse. When was like
so how did we take that step?
Yeah. Why?
I do remember that. So that was around the time we were probably doing. So at that time, I was in college, and then I had a job, and then I was in printing. And I remember I would take like morning classes, like 6 a.m. to like 9, something like that. And then after that, I would go screen printing. And I don't remember, but somehow I had a job. I think about it. When did I go to this job? I had a job. It was to help pay like some bills if you needed, whatever, spending money outside of girlfriend time. So that's like another job.
Yeah.
So I had to like spend money. I was like, okay. And this wasn't really making enough money. We were making money. Yeah, I would get it easy like $400 to $1,000 a month, and that's pretty good for like a side job, you know. And then it was me and Michael making that same amount. Plus, we had savings. We were able to save money. So I think around that time we were making like $5 to $10K a month from the business.
Damn.
Which I don't think it should be decided about how much you're making. I think it decided more about the time you're in. So the reason why we went is because there was just too many boxes at Michael's house. So we did it. We had a big military tent. We were doing it in a military tent at Michael's house. And it was just so much room that we were taking up. The electricity bill was going up. We had so much room. And we were like, we need to start hiring employees because, I didn't have enough time to count the blanks. Michael had to mix inks. I had to do the steps. I was printing, getting clients, whatever. And it's like, okay, that's when we didn't have enough time. That's when we decided to hit the move. And I actually was too scared to do it. I was like, man, I don't know, man, this is a big step. Just to get a lease.
Yeah.
And Michael was like, oh, I already called the place. We have a meeting. And I was like, oh. So we went, and they're like, we're not going to give you a lease. And we were like, why? It's like, well, they just looked at us. I'm serious. They didn't even give us an explanation. They just looked at us. And I remember they were like, oh, we're booked up. And I was like, dude, no, you're not. Like, why'd you even take this meeting if you're booked? You just said no. And that's why when we left, I was like, Michael, I think it's because we look young.
Yeah.
No one wants to sign a lease for somebody. I don't know how old we were. Like, I think this was like 2018, maybe 2019, maybe before that, somewhere around there. That we were starting to look for leasing. Maybe that doesn't sound right. I don't know. Somewhere before 2020.
Yeah.
And after 2016. So probably 2018. So we were looking for leasing, and they wouldn't give it to us because of how we look. We look super young.
Yeah.
And that same thing with getting loans is we go to the bank and like, I have enough credit history. And I'll be like, yeah, but my bank history. I'm like, all this money.
Trust.
Yeah, trust. I mean, I've been making this amount of money for years. And they're like, no. I'm like, what? So we went for leasing. We went to like a bunch of places. Everyone denied us. And then we found this one company called like Ready Spaces.
I remember.
Who was new to the area. And we talked to the manager. And it was really super chill dude when I explained to him my situation. And he's like, yeah, dude, I'll give you a spot. And then we signed it, and our first spot was like, I think it was like 600 square feet. And it was pretty much, we moved everything in there, and that was our first step because we really just wanted to get an employee. We needed extra hands.
Yeah.
So I think that was when we decided to do it. As long as, we can't do this ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, at that same time, I was doing consulting for like other businesses. So as a little side gig, I'm like, $100. It wasn't making nothing.
Yeah.
It was more about getting connections. So I'd go to these businesses and consult them. Okay, I see you doing this. You should try doing this. And the one thing I noticed is that a lot of business owners, small business owners, tend to do everything themselves. They don't trust anybody. And I can understand why. I totally get it. Me and Michael are the same way, and we were that way, and we still are technically, but more and more lenient. And I think that was like, hey, we need to hire somebody else to either count the shirts in, screen print, do separations, clean, or whatever, because we just can't do this. If we want to grow, we gotta give everyone else. We gotta trust other people to do the job. And that was what we did. We moved out, and then I think we hired this dude, or we had an intern. I forget what his name was. Is he able? I don't know if you met him. Brendan met him. Brendan was our first employee.
Yeah.
So we got him.
Brendan, shout out Brendan.
Yeah, I
think you might watch this.
Hi, Brendan. Don't worry, Brendan. I love you.
I love you too.
But so then those two guys, and they would help us screen print, count in, and all that. And that was a big step because at that point, I was like, man, this is serious.
Yeah, having employees.
Yeah, this is serious. And then, but then the laws, you got employee laws, and you got to get compensation, you got to get insurance, and that was like a big step. Because then we went from making like a lot of money to like good 20%, which is not even. I don't even care about paying employees. I want to be happy to work, but then I got to pay the government all this money. They ain't helping. They're
not screen print.
Yeah, I was like, where's the government employee over here? Like, you should send somebody over to help out, and they're gonna charge me this much money. So that was like the big kicker. I was like, and then that's when we started like, let's look for loans, and we got the same problem. We couldn't get a loan for like 5 years. Nobody wanted to. We were making a bunch of money, and that's why we could consider like, we should do like a private investor, or find a family member, or take out like a crappy loan. We figured out what to do, but anyways, I think that would be the best step. When you have too much time, you don't have enough time, because I think that allowed me to get more sales. Having
freed up.
Do it freed up the time, and I think that was very important. Even Michael, he was trying to get sales at that time, so I think that was because if you can free up your time, you can get more sales. I don't know. People like I need to be pretty involved. I'm still involved. You just don't need to be as much.
No, I remember starting off, you were involved, and then time by time, month by month, you just started like laying off.
I started trusting everybody. I trusted you to do stuff. I trusted Julian, our lead. I trusted Brendan, Paul. I trusted Brendan. I trusted Paul. And then at that same time, we still screen printed. I worked the hours I need to.
Yeah, I remember waking up at fucking 4 a.m.
Yeah,
going to your shop at 5, printing from 5 to 11.
Yeah, and there'll be days where you come in and you're still here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still here.
Or you and Michael would just no sleep it.
Yeah, we would
the entire night, and I'm like,
it had to be done.
God,
it was tough. My body's still not recovering. I feel like my knees hurt, my hands hurt. I think Michael has, what is it called?
Carpal tunnel.
He's getting there.
I know. I put something on my Instagram. They're like, you shouldn't pull. You're gonna get carpal tunnel in years. And
exactly,
like,
Michael. He still does it. And sometimes I see him and his hands are like all bad. I'm like, oh.
My hands have always been like this, so it's like.
It's a pull. But that's one of the things that comes with it.
Yeah.
That's why if you do manual, your body is gonna suffer. That's why paying an employee, they could suffer.
Yeah.
Get
an employee every 2 years so they could, lay off the screen printing. You don't feel responsible for the carpal tunnel.
Yeah. It's crazy too. So I went to college. I took a couple screen printing classes in college. I had to drop out because screen printing too much. And then I actually saw.
So you were doing business out of it?
No, because I had to drop out because we were too busy.
Okay.
In our shop. Because I think at that time, I finally moved into the warehouse, and I was only taking the class to learn more. see if I could learn more. And like, I was like, dude, this is like, I'm not learning anything, you know? And then I dropped out, and then I went.
I just wanted to see if it was still recording.
Imagine that.
The last time the camera died in the middle of
We
it.
were just talking to ourselves for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
But so anyways, I dropped out, and then like months later, maybe like a year later, I bumped into a teacher, and I told them, "Oh yeah, I took a class. I have a shop." And he was like, "You're the only person I've ever taught that has a shop." And I was like, "I don't know, teach better." I don't know, but
because that's not easy, dude.
no, it's not.
Screen printing is so complicated.
Yeah, screen printing is super hard. Like the step simulation.
Because there's like a million little steps that nobody really thinks about.
You got the separations. I think matter the most.
Yeah.
And because like you're a really good separator. You're the one, like besides Michael, you're like the only other person I trusted your separations.
Thank you.
And yeah, and like I was thinking like, man, if Michael ever retires, I'm like, fuck. Like
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
But I Michael steps are like goated, and then there's like you that are really good. I think I haven't done. I used to whenever Michael's gone, I remember I gotta call Hobby now.
Yeah,
I need him.
And I'm here.
Separation are most important. That's what changes. That's what makes an 8 color like a 14, 12 color. People don't even understand that. They'll send you like this hard, super intense design. They're like, oh, I don't want to pay. $100 or whatever. I want to pay a crap ton of money. And like, well, good thing we got Michael in the back, and they'll set it, and they're like, yeah, it's 10 colors or whatever. Well, now before I could only do 8, now we can do 16, 16 colors, right? But we don't try to do 16 colors because that's a lot of colors.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of work.
We've never even used the last 2 heads. Usually if we use the last 2 heads for like a roller, like a flanger screen, but no one's ever done 16 colors. I think the most we've ever done, I think it's actually one of my clients, 13 or 14, something like that.
You only do 16 if it's like a freaking immaculate design and you're printing like 1,000 pieces. It's the only time it's worth it.
Like it would have to be like glitter, chrome.
Yeah, like specialty.
Realistic.
Yeah.
It has to be like your face with glitter and chrome, and you have like a grill and like 3 different shades of people on there or something. Yeah. So it'd be something crazy like that. And even then, like, I would just be like, dude, let's just DTG it.
Yeah.
Let's save some money because unless it's like over 1,000 pieces, because if it's like 50 pieces, like 16 colors, 50 pieces, bro, no. Like they're not. Like I think about not know that I don't want to do it. It's more no, it's going to cost you too much money.
I do actually want to ask you this. I didn't think about asking you this, but like when I know you have a digital squeegee, which is freaking crazy. But like, when would you use digital? Like, when someone comes to you, when do you say like, this is a digital squeegee or this is a 12, 13 color? Like, what's the difference? Is it price, or is it design, or what?
So when I type to a client,
real quick, what is a digital squeegee for people that
so
don't
the digital squeegee is kind of like a newer technology where, imagine everybody knows. I'm sure most people know what a DCG machine is.
Hopefully. So
a DCG machine prints the image directly onto a garment. And the digital squeegee is where we screen print the base of. It doesn't matter if it's a white T-shirt, black T-shirt. We always screen print the base, and then it goes to a DTG machine, and then we DTG over the screen printed base. So it's like a combination. It gets the longevity of screen printing, but the details of a DTG machine. But it doesn't. We can't do jumbo. That's the only problem.
What's the max size?
Like I think it's 14 by 19, 14 by 18, one of those.
Not bad.
So it's not bad. It's really quick.
Like,
I posted pictures of it videos on my story, and the thing's crazy. Seeing it in action, and it still amazes me every time I see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me go look.
Every time I ISS, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's super cool, but I personally think it's overcomplicated because so it needs a base. It needs like 2. I don't know what they're called, like 2 primer screens, and then DTG.
Yeah.
It's still cheaper than a 16 color, 12 color, 10 color. I just think like when I watch it going down, I'm like, wow, a lot going on. Why can't we just put the base and DTG it? Or it needs a primer or whatever. And I personally only think it's worth it. Well, okay, so when I talk to a client, I ask them if it's a streetwear client, I never recommend it.
Really?
Yeah, because streetwear, a lot of my clients like the rough screen printing feel.
Sure.
They want the big pieces. They want the rustic vintage look. The DS with digital squeegee is more like corporate wear. You know, it's something like promo items, something like you want, or if you need something super realistic.
Yeah, like a photo.
Yeah, like I've done it for a few guys, or like, oh, I need this image to be crisp, you know, and it's like, okay, we could do it because if we do a screen printing, a super realistic screen printing, dude, it's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know, so a DS, the setup is a lot cheaper.
How much is the setup?
It starts at $100. So, for example, a screen printing, you know, 8 colors, it's $30 a screen, like $240. If you go with the DS, you're only paying $100, so it's already cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, just in that aspect. So I only recommend it. I think out of all my streetwear clients or anybody who does the super cool designs, I don't think anyone has used it. Maybe one guy. It's usually all my corporate clients.
Interesting.
Or like,
I would have expected
nah, dude,
I don't know.
I usually don't offer it too. I usually don't even offer it just because there's a lot more maintenance in it because it gets clogged up. So I feel like it's down like 3 weeks out of a quarter. 4 weeks out of a quarter.
Wow.
Just because the maintenance on it is hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's still new technology.
Yeah, it's a newer technology. So like maybe like 5-10 years, it'll be goated. But right now it's like, oh, it's pretty good, pretty helpful. It's affordable, you know, significantly cheaper than getting a 16 color, 12 color, and like 50 pieces, 100 pieces. And I think if you just want the realistic look and you don't really care about screen printing, you don't want jumbo, that'd probably be the aspect or the route you go. And I wouldn't do it if I had to do it. That's just I'm a screen printing guy. I don't like digital. You know, I love screen printing. If you get a sick design screen printing, I'm with it. Like that design you did that Spider-Man one, the color one. I was like, dude, this is sick.
I think
when I saw it, I was like, oh, the only person I could do is hobby. Dude, that's little.
Because like I think the best prints are the best screen prints. Like screen print, like a great screen print is 10 out of 10. Yeah, a great DTG is 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
like screen printing. If you do the screen printing, the separation right, the printing right, get the printer that is good. Like that's a 10 out of 10.
There's this brand on Instagram I follow. I met them one time in Zipcon. I think it's called like Backstock. You know that?
No.
Dude, their prints, they screen print. They're super clean. And they pretty much only screen print themselves, but they're super clean. And like when I met the guy, I was like, dude, how did you do this?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, painfully.
I was like, yeah, suffering.
Yes. Dude. It was so nice that I bought a couple of shirts for him, you know, and I was like, dude, nice.
Yeah. I would say honestly the best way to get a 10 out of 10 screen print is to do the artwork 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
like
the artwork.
Let's say you're going to have it 16 by 20. You do the design at 600 resolution. From the original, because everything stems from the original.
Yeah.
If the line artwork is actually pristine at a 600 resolution, that's gonna translate to the separation. The separation is obviously gonna translate to the print.
Yeah.
Like,
artwork is what matters the most.
Yeah, it is. People don't even know that.
Yeah, because we have like the best machines. We have the best employees. But if the artwork is blurry or too small or but it's not gonna look good, and they're gonna blame us.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you gave us rotten bread and you asked for a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to do.
Because people think that even if it's just 16 by 20, they put it at 72 resolution.
Yeah,
it's like you got to realize that the higher the resolution, obviously, if it's vector, the whatever, do it at vector. But when people do like realistic faces, do it with like good quality images from Google. Like go and grab those high resolution images from Google and put them into your design. Like realize that everything in the design matters.
Yeah.
Because people don't even think about that. They just think whatever I give to the printer, they're gonna do exactly what's in my head. It's like, no.
I think that's another conversation we have with them. So we talk to them about the art. Like, hey, this is not gonna look like this. We're thinking it's gonna look like this. Do you have better art? Can you fix it? And they're like, no, let's just do it. I think it'll come out good. And I was like, you think it'll come out good? Then you're gonna blame us. I've had so many clients blame us because, this color is the wrong shade. I'm like, yeah, but it's a simulation. And your artwork was like, 30 PSI or 30, what is it?
The 72 PSI?
Resolution. Dots per inch or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like we tried telling you beforehand.
Yeah.
And we tried to get a solution this is like the best it could. The only thing it could have done is add another color, but then we charge you more.
Yeah.
Or we do the artwork, and then you would have just had to pay an artist to do it again. You know, that's why I think designing it on a board that's already sized correctly would solve a lot of the problems, and then just having a more realistic approach. Because so another problem with like art is when I work with like these clients, like, well, for example, we had this project with Universal, and it was like a simple one color, right? Simple as can be. They wanted it probably just, I forget what it was, like an apron or something.
Mm.
And then like we wanted full apron on the under the pocket, over the pocket, and I'm like, okay, that's like custom cut and sew.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. They're like, oh, really? What does that mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What does that mean? You don't know? Like, you're getting all this artwork done for a movie, and you don't really know what the services that go into it, the timeline. Like, we need it in a week. I'm like, ma'am, it's not gonna happen. Yes, we need to separate the garment, print, and re-sew it together. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. Like trying to learn, like study what the type of services are: screen printing, DTG, cut and sew, transfers.
Man.
You know,
because sometimes it's funny that people make a mock, and they think just because they made the mock digitally, they think it's easily possible in translation to physical. But it's like, you got to think about, there's a palette, and that garment or whatever you're going to print on has to fit into that garment or a palette.
Sometimes the shirts don't even fit on the palette.
Sometimes the shirts don't even fit on the palette.
Yeah,
like
I know exactly some of them. We get like these jumbo ones that are like the whole t-shirt on the mock, and they're like, can it be this big? I mean, I'd be like, it'll be 18 by 24.
Yeah, and they're like, can it fit on a small? It's like,
I mean, it's gonna be the best. It's just gonna do what it could on a small, you know. And sometimes the smalls don't make fit on the jumbo palette.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're like,
and every single garment is different. Every single brand is different as well.
Sometimes they don't look cool. Like the dyed garments, they're shrunk. And we sometimes, like, I've cut my razor cuts from the pallets, going like trying to pull the shirt onto it, and I'm like, you know, and I was like, OSHA, help me. You know, but that's another thing. So LA Pearls, you know, they sometimes they barely fit, and then you got like shirts like Gildan being that, I don't know, jumbo. I'm not thinking crazy.
Yeah,
don't do it.
No,
unless it's like unless you need to do it on the hammers.
Hammers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I think oversized t-shirts, you know, you need to do jumbo on them. But that's the main thing too. Like, just having more realistic expectations. Even just learning a little bit about separations, about what's possible.
Yeah.
You know, or just talking to your manufacturer. Like,
honestly, I would love if every client like actually came up to me and was like, "Hey, I have questions."
Yeah,
like, please, I'll answer all of them.
I have clients that do that. You know, beforehand, they'll send me artwork, and they're like, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like, "Oh." I'll tell them, "Oh, no problem, we good." Or I'll tell them, "Hey, you know, if you want to be this size, if you want to be this color, I think you should make these changes now, beforehand." And I think just talking to the manufacturer will probably mitigate a lot of probably like at least half the problems.
Yeah.
Like, especially with artwork. Or like even have your artists work with the manufacturer.
That'd be cool.
If you're big enough, you know, we have some promo guides who artists just work directly with the manufacturer, because they're it's really just them deciding how it's gonna look. You know, the creator, whoever is like the owner, is gonna be like, "Oh, this is cool," unless they're the artist. But then most of the time they're like, "Let's make this happen. I'll sign the check."
No.
And I'm like, "Yeah, let's make it happen."
All right. Still, I guess. All right. I had this theory. Tell me if I'm wrong, because obviously you've been doing this for 10 years. I feel like the clients that do the best, the clients that have the most numbers, usually have a lot less, like they're a lot less perfectionists.
Oh yeah.
Like they really don't. They're kind of like, it is what it is. Let it go. Like we'll work with you, kind of thing. Yeah. Like I've seen the clients that have done multiple high numbers. They're usually not the ones with like the nitty gritty, like, oh, but this thing is this way, this thing is this way. It's like most of the time, those are the 24 piece orders.
I would say the people are more perfectionists. In the top, it's probably less than 30% of them that. Most of them are like how you said, we'll just get it done.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's just do the best we can. It's because they know they've been in it. Most of the time, they've either been in the manufacturing, they know separations, or they just been in it long enough.
Because they know screen printing isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be a problem, you know. my if I printed my face, my skin tone is not going to be correct.
No.
You know, if I printed, some shoes, we've done shoes. Sometimes they don't look like shoes. We've done shapes, circles. Sometimes it looks like an oval. You know, so that's the thing. It's like you have to have the expectations for little mess ups. Not big mess ups is different, but little mess ups.
As long as you keep the integrity of the idea of what you wanted, then I think that's really like what matters. Because the client is not going to remember. The client will never know what the original concept was. They're going to look at the T-shirt, be like, all right, this T-shirt's cool.
Yeah.
Let me buy it.
Yeah, I think about it like we're barbers. You don't really argue or tell your barber anything. We're the ones that are kind of helping you make the money, make yourself look good.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like you just go get on the barber, and if you think like I'm messing it up, I don't mind. Or you can just tell me.
I feel like that's a good analogy. Like I feel like another one that I think about all the time is like to order a shirt or to make your design into a T-shirt. It's kind of like getting a tattoo. It's like you have to choose the right tattoo artist, and you have to trust them that they're gonna do it. And sometimes it doesn't come out perfectly.
Yeah.
You're translating an idea in your mind to a tattoo. It's like it's not gonna be 100% perfect, but as long as you're okay with whatever it is.
Yeah, like I got this big piece. It's kind of my elbow right here. It's kind of winky because my elbow is a different shape.
Yeah.
Than
like your body is not a perfect thing.
It's like, okay, if I'm putting on LA Apparels, right, it's gonna look a certain way. But then, for example, say LA Apparel's out, put on Made Blank. Now it doesn't look as big or it doesn't look as small, and that's not my fault.
It is what it is.
And then sometimes LA Apparels are like, they're messed up.
Yeah, sometimes the small, the medium.
The last couple of years, man, LA Apparel, they've been slacking.
Mm-hmm.
So, clients are like, why does it look different on this T-shirt? And I'm like, well,
LA
Apparel,
it started at the origin instead of like the actual print. Like they don't realize that the shirts are different. Like that's something that we cannot control.
Yeah.
But they blame us because we're the ones that gave it to them.
Oh yeah, and then like LA Apparel team, the kind of got an LA Apparel T-shirt with like a moss hole in it. And like our guys accounting, it's like, oh, dude, there's a moss hole.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, why is there a hole in it? And it's like, I don't know. The mill had a moss. You know how many shirts I've got with blood on them?
Oh no,
the mill is crazy.
I have not. I've had some with like rat pee.
How do you know what rat pee looks like?
Because rat pee, you can't spray it out. You can't even wash it out.
Oh man, that's what my other print shops say.
Which is regular pee.
Why would it be regular pee?
Why? I don't know.
There's been boxes in LA Apparel where there have been holes this big when I got here.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, that's a rat. It has to be. It has to be a rat.
What about skunk?
Well, skunk doesn't bite boxes like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What about?
You're right. You're not wrong. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I mean stuff like that.
Yeah, it's out of our control.
It's out of our control. Yeah, and then when we ship it, that's also out of our control. That's UPS. I've had clients complain about their box, how the boxes look, like how damaged the boxes are. Dude, like what do you think I paid UPS to beat up the box? Like that's not. I didn't do that. Like, I take the box, try to make sure the shirts are good, and UPS stomps in the box. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But stuff like that. But yeah, like you're saying, usually the bigger clients or the clients are doing more. Are more lenient, They're more understanding, and generally, I think that's better, because if you put a lot of stress on us, it's kind of like
we're more likely to mess up because there's so much like of this pressure. But there's I think that's when things go right most of the time.
Oh yeah.
When people are just very understanding, more forgiving, lenient, they're like,
I think there's like a good flow state where there's enough pressure, but it's not too much. It's like, hey, we have this timeline, we need to hit it. This timeline, like you can make, like I have clients, for example, like A24, they have these hard timelines, but they don't give me a lot of pressure. They're just like, hey, we need these timelines, we need it by here. This is very important.
Yeah.
They'll say something like, this is very important, and then they won't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I make sure it happens.
Yeah. Because you can understand
there is that pressure. Yeah, they trust us, and then I'll ask for the information. I need the address. I need the accounts are going to that address, etc. Right. And then they'll be like, okay, here's all the information. I'll only talk to her for 1 to 2 weeks, and I'm like, hey, by the way, it's good, it's out. And she'll be like, thank you. And that's it. But then I have other clients that are like constantly texting me every day, like, what, any update? And I'm like, same update as yesterday, the shirts haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I could do. And then once it goes to production, or once we go to sampling, they're like, oh, when are they going to send me a sample? They said they're going to send me a sample in an hour. Or like they said this morning they're going to send me a sample today, and it won't be like an hour.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, they gotta set up the screens. You know, an 8-color setup is like what? A good guy could probably do it in a couple hours, maybe less. It's usually gonna take 2 to 3 hours probably to do 8 colors, unless you use like what is it called, like a truck or like a registration system or whatever it's called. But even then, you know, there's some problems. You gotta tape up the screen. You gotta mix it in. Yeah, you gotta make sure it's the right order. Sometimes, you know, we'll have the order like 1 to 8 or whatever, and it's like, you know what? I think number 6 should go before 4, and then we gotta swap it.
Oh, you swap it?
Yeah, we'll swap.
What we do is we do 2 rounds.
So we do that sometimes if you have the time.
Yeah,
you know,
it depends on how many quantity it is.
Yeah.
If it's 500, you might as well swap it.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing.
if it's 24, then you might as well just go 2 rounds until you're done in 1 round.
We'll just do it in 2 rounds. But if it's like, oh, we only got X amount of time, you know, whatever, we'll swap it. But that's the thing, the client doesn't understand that. They don't know. We're not going to text the client, hey, swapping the screens.
Give us 30 minutes for swapping a
screen. They don't know, but,
yeah.
you know, instead the guy, you know, and then our employees, you know, they're not super, you know, at the end of the day, as soon as it's 5 o'clock, they go home.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it's kind of like, I'm still working after 5. You're gonna text me after 5. My client or my customer or my employee, he's gonna go home, see his family. He doesn't care. He already forget about it, and then he comes in and he'll do it again. So it's kind of different, you know, because the employee is like, oh, I can just do my job, and then he's doing it, and then you know, it might take him an extra hour, it might take him an extra 30 minutes. But we always tell employees, what matters most is that it's as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush things out, and sometimes clients are just too pushy. You know, it's like, get this out now, and it's like, dude, we're gonna need an extra 30 minutes, we need an extra hour.
Because I think they have to trust that we're doing the best that we can to make them happy. But even with that, to make them happy, we have to kind of not talk to them for a little bit. We have to make sure that everything's going right.
Yeah.
Because we're doing their job in their head, but they don't. The hard part is when they don't understand the process. It makes them more mad to explain the process because they don't know it, and they're gonna get confused, they're gonna get frustrated. So it's like just give us an hour, we'll figure it out. We're gonna do our expertise. Just trust, because if you're not gonna trust us, then that's where everything kind of goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, you're taking an hour, why aren't you responding? But it's like, trust. It's gonna take more longer to explain what we're doing than to just do what we're doing and send you a picture of what we were doing.
Like, hey, gonna do this next. Like, no. And then another thing too is, okay, so then my production team is focusing on your job. We have 7 autos, so that means they're gonna take an hour or 2 hours to do whatever. I'm gonna go over here and see the next job, and the client's like, why aren't you focusing on my job? I'm like, buddy, there's 3 to 4 people focusing on your job right now. I'm gonna go I'm gonna walk 10 feet and see what's the next job going on. Like if they need anything, if the client's happy, and then the next one. It's not any favoritism.
No,
it's just production. You know, I'm making sure our business is flowing and making sure everything's going good. Because if I'm focusing on too much on one person, then you know we're gonna go out of business.
Everyone's the flow, yeah.
Yeah, it ruins the flow. You know, we're not gonna make any money. We're going out of business, and next you know it. You know, like we have almost 50 employees. 50 people are out of the job.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's more about trusting, or find a reputable manufacturer and then trusting them. Because
I think that's what you have to do. You have to find a manufacturer that you trust. And that's the only thing that's the only way things flow. Yeah. Because the best case scenario is things flow.
Yeah. Like I've had a lot of clients who still trust me, and they'll be like, oh, you know, another thing too. You know, most shops use the wrong lighting, so we usually
pictures.
For pictures you have to
approval pictures.
Yeah, usually we go outside and we'll like change the exposure or whatever it's called because it's yellow lighting, and like it looks really yellow. It's like, oh, trust me, not that yellow. And like, okay, I trust you. And then they'll get it, and then they'll do it. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like trust me. I know what you want.
Yeah.
I know you want to sell this for X amount of money. You want to make a lot of money. Just give me some room to breathe, and we'll get it done. You know, and if there are problems, we'll always tell the client if there's problems. It's more about if we usually talk about problems, because we've already gone through how do we fix it, how do we solve this. And there's really no way to fix it or solve it without either new artwork or more time, or you know, because I don't want, you know, my employees don't want to stay an extra 2 hours after work. Like I said, they got families. You know, it's hard to tell somebody, hey, you can't go see their family. You can't go see your family. You know, you got to stay here, screen print. Yeah. You know, and it doesn't go off pretty well.
I think the best way to go about it, if you're a clothing brand owner or anybody that's gonna make t-shirts, is just kind of expect things to not go perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that's the best mentality to go in, because when things go wrong and you stress about it, that's when things go even more wrong.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do to fix it. You know.
Yeah, 'cause you just gotta like let the printer do. You gotta let the printer print.
We'll figure it out. We'll discuss
Because
it.
we of course want the best case scenario.
Yeah, we don't want you to. Because the thing about it, the client gets a crappy job, they're gonna tell their friends, "Hey, I got a crappy job from X person."
Yeah.
You know, which happens sometimes. Even if you do a good job, some clients don't like it. But it's about moving forward. You know, hey, I'm sorry. You know, it didn't hit your standards or whatever. We'll do X to fix it or
We'll
whatever.
give you credit.
Yeah, we'll just fix it, give you credit or whatever, which usually doesn't happen that often. But you know, some people are sticklers and they're like, oh, it's 1 inch too small, or you know, I'm missing a T-shirt or something, which you know, find it. You know, it's always something. But
yeah, nothing's perfect.
Yeah, nothing's perfect. I think planning it accordingly. You know, we know there's rushes. You know, we can't help that, but usually I say 2 weeks is the most standard time for
7 to 14
yeah,
businesses.
anything, yeah. But if you can do it earlier,
Great.
a month, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, awesome. You know, we'll get it done in 2 weeks, but that gives us, hey, your design needs like a couple more days.
Yeah,
you know,
the artwork separation
yeah,
needs.
like our artwork team is spending more time because you know our separations are not like 10 minutes. You know,
I've taken 6 hours
Yeah.
on separation.
exactly. Sometimes our work takes
And that takes a
long.
couple of days sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes like, dude, this is detailed.
Yeah.
But you want it to be detailed. You don't want us to throw it into AI or
Sapporo.
yeah, something like that to do the separations. Maybe it'll work on a 1 color, 2 color, maybe, I don't know. But when you're doing these like 10, 15 colors, you know, you need them to be crisp.
Yeah.
You need the dots to be there, you need the colors to be there, you need everything to mix. And that takes time. That takes hours. And so, you know, our artist the other day was working on like a 12 color Marvel design. And he was telling me that the client actually messaged me, he's like, hey, any update on our work? So I asked our artist, who's Michael, by the way. I asked Michael, I said, hey, any update on it? He said, I've been working on it all day. Right? And it's like a 12 color or something like that. So that's the thing about sometimes Michael's really quick, you know, he'll do most designs in like a couple hours, but he's like, I've been doing this for like 6 hours already.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not gonna text the client because he's locked in. You know, he's not gonna text the client, hey man, I'm locked in.
I'm on the 11th color right now.
Yeah, you know, he's not gonna tell him, but then I tell the client, hey, by the way, Michael didn't forget, he's actually working on it right now.
Yeah, we've been working on it for the last
Yeah,
6
that's
months.
what I tell the client, like, hey, don't worry, we're doing it.
We're on.
We're on it, we're still doing it. But sometimes things take forever, you know.
It just depends on how complex things are.
Yeah, but that job didn't have a time, like super strict on timeline. So that's why I'm like, 1 more day is no problem.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you bring your car to a mechanic.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell them, I need it by this day.
Yeah.
It's like, no, take your time. I want my car to work.
Yeah, or your car's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have your car, like, rushed and then it breaks down on the freeway? Or would you rather have them just be like, all right, take your time?
Yeah, and then like some people are like, oh, I don't want to pay for 10 colors, right? I'm like, okay, we can do it at 8 colors, but you're gonna sacrifice.
Yeah, you're going to lose like 20% accuracy
Yeah.
in your design.
Yeah, you might lose X, X, and X. As long as you understand that,
Yeah.
we'll still make it as best as possible. Hell, you might even just lose 10%. You know, it's hard to tell you because I don't see it.
It's all in the separation.
Yeah,
You can't even know that until
Yeah.
you separate it.
Yeah, and then you can't separate it without like
Payment.
payment. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell, hey Michael, we need you to work for free.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it's going to take, 4 hours?
Yeah, I know you got bills and rent, but you know.
But do this for free,
Yeah.
and he might not even pay. And it's
Yeah, I didn't exactly. You might not even pay, and then Michael
Michael
worked
hit the
3
printer,
hours,
and it's
5
like-
hours.
like,
Yeah.
that's where it's complicated.
Yeah, that's why it's like you pay, or do you even do a down payment? Sometimes for certain clients, we'll do separations for a certain fee.
If you know the client's gonna order, if they ordered every
Yeah.
single time,
Yeah,
you're gonna trust them. You're like, okay, I'll do this separation for free, knowing you're gonna do this.
yeah. Or like even clients are like, you think it'll look good? Like they'll just ask, what do you think? What do you think it's gonna look like? Like I'll ask Michael, show him our work. Michael will know. I'll be like, this is this client. And Michael will know how good the artwork will be. And he'll be like, oh yeah, it'll look great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll tell the client, our artist says it'll look great. I'll literally do verbatim. I'm like, he said it'll look okay.
Yeah.
You know, if you want it to look good, I'll usually say what he said. You know, whatever. But most of the time, I think Michael knows what he's doing with the artist.
Yeah, I can look at a design. If I look at it in Photoshop, I can tell you.
There's some shops on Instagram that I see, man, their separations are questionable.
Yeah.
And I go, man, I've lost bids to some people, and it's like I lost bid to that.
That's funny. It's like people don't realize that there's so much human element into the result.
Yeah,
Like, and they think, oh, he has a better price, but it's like, do you realize how many steps there are and how many things that you have to be accountable for as like the printer's responsibility from the separation all the way till you throw it into the dryer. Some people don't even dry it right. Like it's like you have to realize that what you're getting, what you pay for.
Exactly.
And that's the scary part. People are just like, oh, the price is the price. It's like, you know, you get what you pay for it.
Exactly. Like I had this one client that I've been talking to for, you know, I've known him for like years now. We've done a job here and there. I'm like, dude, let me do this job. And he's like, oh yeah, but the pricing over here is better. And then like a month later, he's like, yeah, man, I don't like the steps or.
I should have went with you.
Yeah, I should have went with you. I was like, yeah, let's go on the next one. And he'd be like, he's like, I don't know, the pricing. I'm like, why? You keep talking about pricing, but your clients are sending you returns. Like, you got to think about it like that. Like, do I want more returns? I don't want more. Like, I might pay 10% more, 20% more, but I don't get no return.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna do the art's good. We're gonna dry it. I saw this one. I think I told you about this. I don't want to say the brand, but a long time ago, I might have shown you this, or maybe I showed Brendan. But there was this guy on Instagram printing like shorts, screen printing shorts, and he didn't dry them. He just threw them on top of each other. And I was like, I remember I was showing, and I'm gonna show Michael. I was like, look at this. I was like, he's already drawing the things. He's selling the shorts for like $50.
Yeah.
And
they're gonna crack.
Yeah, they're gonna crack, dude. I was like, what? You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he could pay someone like us to do it, you know, and they won't crack. Well, unless that's what he's going for. But dude, he was literally printing it and throwing it in the pile done. And I was like, what? Why would you record that?
Because I mean, his clients don't even know that it's it's not the right way to do it.
Unless it's water based, but even then, it's not.
You don't stack it.
Yeah, you don't stack it, and it's not even gonna last. It's gonna be gone in a couple washes. It's gonna be like literally 2 or 3. And then a client paid $50-$60, or a customer paid $60-$50 for the for what reason?
Because of course, like obviously you can't do this. This isn't a realistic test because it'll cost you thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But if you got like a design that's like mediocre, like not mediocre, moderately complicated, it's like a 7 color with similar process. You grab that design and get a sample from 10 different screen print shops. Guarantee you, every single one of them is going to be different.
Yeah, that would be different.
And that's when you realize that screen printing is not perfect.
Yeah.
It's basically the printer and the artwork or artist's interpretation of that design from start to finish.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't have the time and money to be like, hey, let me get a 7 color sample from 7 different printers. It's like, yeah, but that's a great way to go about it. You have to think about that.
In the top 10%, they'd be like within pretty good.
All of them would probably be sellable.
I think they'll be sellable. So, but I would say the top 10% would probably be really around minimal differences. Because at a certain level, it's more about how you like people. Like at a certain level, screen printing, everything's going to be relatively really similar. You know, there'll be differences, you know, but it's going to be relatively pretty similar. I don't think anything that would be super drastic. We'll know differences.
Yeah.
You know, but the average person will go, oh, it looks the same. But we'll know. But it's more about how you relate to the art, to the manufacturer. You know, the salesperson, it's our job too.
And most of the time, businesses, how do they think about the person that I'm talking to?
Yeah, like do you
Really?
like the person?
Yeah.
Do you not like the person? I've done work with people. I'm like, dude, I don't know. This guy is so mean to me. You know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna charge him more. And then there's a guy that's so nice to me. He's a sweet dude. I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for this dude. He's like, his job is so expensive. And I'm like, you know, let me give him a couple bucks off.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's been coming. Let me give him a free T-shirt or whatever. Some T-shirts for free. But anyways, what I was saying is the top will probably be pretty similar. The bottom, I feel like the last 50% will be so different.
Yeah.
Because, man, like I was saying, that one shop that I lost I did to, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you right now. I saw this, I was like, what the heck? I went to show Michael recently. I was like, dude, look at this. And he's like, yeah.
And it does make me sad sometimes because like I look at a design, somebody sent me the design, like, can I get a quote? And in my head, I know exactly how good it would look if we did it. And then I see it, and then eventually when he posts it, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but you know, he
like
saved,
that design could have been so much better.
Yeah, but he probably saved like $5 per.
Yeah.
You know? And then in his head, it's like, that's like $100. You would have saved $100.
But think about exactly the way that we get returns on our clients. if we do the design print 10 to 15% better, their clientele will return. And at the same time, like that's what choosing a good printer does for your clothing brand.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get return clients rather than somebody that does a mediocre print. You save, let's just say, $1 per shirt on.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can get $10 per shirt back when people reorder.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like you have to think about that in the long run. Like price is price, but price should not be the first thing you think about when you're printing.
No, your quality, I think, matters more.
Quality,
than customer service. Because like in the past, when we first started, dude, customer service was hard for us because I was too busy screen printing. Your clients would ask questions, and I felt like I was leave them in the dark for like a couple of days. Like, dude, I've been printing literally 24 hours. like I'm not ghosting you. I'm literally laying on the floor dying. Michael slept in like under the heater in the flash.
God.
Because we'd be printing.
So cold.
It'd be cold. Like I don't like. Is it just get cold here?
Not really.
Dude, it was cold.
No, it's usually it's hot because I have a flash and a dryer going right
that's
there.
another thing too. When it gets hot, dude, it feels like 1,000 degrees in there.
Yeah, you remember your dryer was literally at 1,000 degrees.
It really was. I was like, oh yeah, don't touch it.
Dude, when I started, I put this dryer at 960 degrees, and my shirts were burning. I was like, oh, it's a different dryer. I should probably bring it down.
Yeah, it's a different function.
I didn't buy a dryer because it didn't get to 1,000 degrees.
That's crazy.
And right now it's at 300. It's at 200. It's at 300 degrees right now.
Yeah.
And it burns for some reason. It gets to 365, 350.
Yeah.
But
it's a crazy time. And you don't put your hand in it.
Don't put your hand in it.
Michael put his hand in it one time.
I have put my hand in it one time.
Yeah, but Michael, I remember Michael a shirt got stuck.
Yeah.
Like middle, Michael and he came by his hand out. It was like all red.
All of his hairs are burning.
Yeah, and then like he was bleeding. He cut himself with something. I was like, dude, what the hell? Like bit you.
I mean, yeah, that shirt was gonna catch on fire eventually.
Yeah, it did.
It's like
It did catch on fire. One time we did an Exorcist design, and it was so funny. I don't know if you were for us, but I was like on the phone, and Michael was like, "Oh yeah, man, printing, whatever." And the shirt like came out. It was the first sample, and it literally burst on the flames on the press.
That's a sign.
And I remember Michael, or not Michael. I remember Julian, our lead press operator. He was like, sat down and went. And I was like looking, and I was like, hold on, Michael, the shirt's on fire. And he's like, what? And Julian was like, what do I do? And I was like, put it out. I don't like
throw holy water on it.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. No shirt has ever burst into flames like that. It was like literally a song.
Yeah.
We still did the job. But the first year we had one misprint because it burst into flames. I was crazy.
I burned a pallet on fire.
Oh yeah, dude, so many times.
Yeah, it was a pallet.
That does suck. Those things are not cheap.
No.
And a lot of people, people don't understand the price of equipment, dude. It's like a new auto, a big auto, junk auto, man. It's like a house down payment on a house.
Yeah.
It's like a new car. It's like
people think the price is just based on the time.
Yeah. You gotta have good equipment.
You're paying for your case. It's employees. It's a light. It's the down payments that you still owe on the equipment that you bought.
Yeah.
It's the electricity. It's the cost of the ink. It's cost of the labor time.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah, it all goes into it.
Yeah, of course.
And then like our expertise,
Yeah.
Our pricing is like usually, I would say, middle higher.
Yeah.
We're not middle low, we're not low, we're not too high. I've definitely seen people a lot higher than us, and I've seen people a lot lower. We don't try to compete. We don't want to compete at the bottom. We don't want to compete at the top. The top is more for like retail. Like retail, you go to the downtown, you see a screen printer on the retail store. It's like top. They'll charge you a lot of money. I was on a date, I was taking my girl to get something to eat, and it was like a screen print shop. No, it was a embroidery shop. And I walked in, I was like, hey, how much for this? And he was like, $8 for 50 pieces. $8?
$8
for embroidery, like right here. I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, why, too much? I was like, oh, I have my own. I have 15 heads. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see how much. I just wanted to see how much. He's like, oh, okay. And then we charged like $3.95. And I was time to go. I was like, dude, it's a money.
Yeah. And people just, I don't know what they do. I don't know how they get those clients. I don't know how they get clients.
It's the basic people. It's the people who are walking by. Those are the people that pay the most because they don't know where to find screen printers. They don't even know where it is.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's really just like, most people buy based on how they felt about the customer service.
Yeah.
Obviously the price kind of goes into that addition of all right, what was the addition between the customer service and the price? And and everything that went about it. But it's like at the end of the day, it's just how they feel.
Yeah. Like
I've been, I remember going like, or who do I get? Who do I go to get a printer? Like, which printer do I choose? And I was like, all right, well, how did I feel about this person? Can I work with them for years? Yes, I can work with them for years. This one I have better pricing, but at the same time, it's like, how do I want to feel? Like that's basically what people go off of, and I mean that's probably the way to go about it. Price is not everything.
Yeah, and it's not a lot. It's not that important. I would say how you feel is important. Also, another thing, most brands at the top level or like medium top have multiple printers for multiple things. Some people have their basic printer that does all their normal stuff, and then they have a rush printer. Or they'll have somebody that does their jumbo stuff.
Yeah.
Or they'll have somebody that does their, super high detailed stuff.
Yeah. One thing that I would love for people to know is like to not judge printers off of super specialty things.
Oh
Because
yeah.
every printer has a specialty. Like, for a while I was doing jumbo 8 color to 12 color. That was like our specialty. That's all we did. It's all we ran. And it's like, if somebody was like, oh, can I do shorts but have them like printed on the crotch? It's like, okay, we don't do that. But we do it, we mess up, and they're gonna be like, oh, you suck.
Yeah, it's like,
And it's like, no, but you don't understand. Like it's a thing that we do once every year.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not gonna be able to judge accurately because it's not what we do. We specialize in this.
Yeah.
But that's where you're going. Like if you're doing, like you should have a printer that you print with puff, because some printers puff is way better.
Yeah.
But it's like don't judge off of one specific specialty, rather than kind of like judge them off of their best, rather than like their one of ones.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like just find printers for specific things. Like some people are not good at jumbo.
Some people aren't good at rush.
Yeah, and some people have really good pricing for like basic prints.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude. I've had some clients like, hey, can you match this pricing? And I'm like, no, I can't. That pricing is ridiculous. Like, but I'll be like, send me that contact. send me that. I want to send him work because I'll make money. I don't have to pay my employees. Shit, you do it, dude. So that's the thing. Like some places are crazy. Like dude, I just jumped on embroidery the other day. Like this one dude, I lost bid because I was like charging like, I think it was like, I forgot, it was like over 500 pieces, but it was like $20, something like that.
For jumbo embroidery?
Yeah. And there's one shop that would do it for $8. And I was like, what? $8? So it doesn't even make sense. And I was like, dude, give me that guy's contact.
Yeah. You probably have one of those like super fast embroidery machines that just do it like that.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, a jumbo embroidery is gonna take you 4 or 5 hours per piece.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to do it for $8, buddy, but you need to do my embroidery now. like, dude, don't know what to say. But that's the thing. So people don't really understand having like you said, judging people on that. Like we don't do UV inks anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes people come to us like, can you do this? And I'm like, I don't want to. You know, I don't want to do that. It's too much problems.
Yeah. People are like, can you discharge? It's like,
yeah,
I can, but no, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't.
That's something that we're gonna mess up on. We don't really know. We don't do it every day.
Yeah, usually if it's like a first time thing, I'll tell the client like, oh, we haven't done this in X amount of time, or we don't do this. We'll do it for you, but no, we'll probably have mess ups. We'll give you a discount rate, but no, you're probably like the first person forever.
Yeah.
So be aware that it might not look pretty.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. Lately, I've been just some people know. Like,
Yeah, it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, usually I recommend like people to you. Like I'll be like, oh, you should go check out Hobby. Or I don't want to say Hobby, they don't know your name. But I'll go, hey, here's a link. This guy he'll do it pretty good. If I don't think I could do it, if I don't have the time, or I know the guy's not gonna pay, my crazy pricing. He wants 24 pieces. I'm like, dude, I really want 50, right? I'm like, oh.
I do 24.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a one color, I do 12.
Yeah, I was like, I know Hobby's gonna take it. Like, I don't want to take it. I'm not gonna make enough. People pay more on other jobs, and I don't want to take all the jobs.
Yeah.
And then be like, then put too much pressure on my team when I know I could like outsource or spread it out. There's plenty of jobs.
I mean, that's one thing that people don't know is that like printers work with printers.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
how many printers?
Printers. So many printers work with other printers.
Yeah, there's so many times. What's funny is a lot of the clients that don't like I've worked in the past that don't like me is that we still do this stuff through someone else, and I'm like, could have saved a couple bucks. Come back to me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's pretty funny. Like, we have so many shops that send us work, and brokers and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, everybody kind of uses each other,
Yeah.
and it's pretty funny. So we're like, a lot of places use us.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's funny because some people are like, I only work with you if you do it in house. And it's like,
Yeah, it's in a house.
it's in a house,
Yeah.
trust me. But like, I remember when I was a broker, everyone would say that, and it's like, trust me, I am more on top of what I'm doing as a middleman than the person that's in house is doing it in house.
Yeah,
Like, trust me, I'm there. I'm on site. I'm there.
yeah.
But
I'm
people
not
are
there.
like, oh, you're a middleman? No. You're a broker? No. But it's like, trust me, the best middlemen are better than the people that are doing it in house.
because we're focused on your job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're focused on screen printing or whoever, and it's like, trust me, all I'm focused on is your job.
Yeah, like I'm checking in. I'm like, I'm talking to the manufacturer, talking to the production lead, the art team. Like you don't even know anything. The client doesn't even know how to talk to these people. They're like, hey, let me talk to them, and they're like, how's the art? They're like, well, the layer 5 is good, but I'm working on layer 6. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Michael tells me these things. I'm like, dude, like even I don't know everything Michael's talking about, and I'm doing it for 10 years. And Michael will start talking to me about channels and all this. I'm like, oh, channels? Let's go back to later, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a joke, but like, all I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, that's why even if you shouldn't be scared to use a broker because they'll handle everything for you.
I feel like as a broker, my main role was being an interpreter.
Yeah, that's kind of
Like
the thing.
it was an interpreter between the little expertise that a clothing brand owner has about screen printing and talking to the screen printer. And I was basically my main goal was like, all right, I'm gonna be the best middleman possible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that whatever they say doesn't sound stupid to the screen printer because most of the time they don't know what they're talking about. So I hear what they say. I'm like, all right, let me put my version of expertise into it and let me tell the screen printer because if they heard what they said, they're gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, you're representing the client.
Yeah, basically, I'm like a manager.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good way to think about it. Like, I'm managing your project. And you're just representing them in the best interest. Because they don't know, and then, the manufacturer might not know how to talk to clients. So, a lot of my production guys don't know how to do sales.
Yeah.
So, oftentimes, they'll text the client production photos. Like, hey, can you prove this? And the client will start asking questions. And then they'll be like, I don't know. And then they'll be like, please take Jacob. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, what's up? They're like, hey, can you refer to Jacob to that? Because I'm just a lead. I'm just printing. And they're like, oh, okay. Because they don't know. They don't know if we had any deal. They don't know how long it's going to take. They're like, oh, I'm just printing it.
Yeah.
That's why it's like having these brokers, like managers, or talking to an account manager or a sales rep. They're more in tune with what you want to do, and the more realistic approach to it.
Yeah. Sometimes I do rely on my manufacturers for product photos, and they take them like with the design like halfway out of the picture, or they like don't even think about the lighting. They don't think about the original design. They don't think about the colors and how it goes. So it's like, yeah, it is beneficial to have a middleman because it's like we consider the original design. We consider what we've spoken about. The production team doesn't even think about
they know
the
the look
original
you're
client.
going for. The production team is like, let's just finish. Let's print it based on the mock.
Yeah, let's just go.
And that's it. The client approved it. We're getting it done. And then like us would be like, and the client approved it, but the client wants some production photos. The client wants. Make sure you look at this specific spot. Make sure it comes out clear. Rub it or whatever. Just tape it up. Kind of like tape it up. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Let's just get it done. And then it's kind of funny. They're just like, I don't know, just working with them. All these guys, all these different people. Dude, we have people from New York. We have people from Oregon that are in production. We have people like screen printing is like a creative field, so all these people we have are crazy. Like not that they look like horrendous. I just think they look like you would, dude, that guy looks metal. And then you would never guess that he's like, oh yeah, I'm working on Cat's Eye Tour merch right now. And just do like hardcore, like a metalhead. And he'd be like the nicest dude, and then you got this other guy who's like, he's like big dude, and he's like, yeah, I like Mario Kart. And it's like, what?
You never know who's gonna be good at screen printing.
Yeah,
Screen printing is a very much like you have to be kind of attuned.
Yeah, it's kind of like ADHD.
I mean, it depends on how much you care about details.
Yeah,
really, that's
you have to
the
be
biggest
very
thing.
detail oriented
That's the
to be
biggest
like
thing.
a lead to like the actual printer.
Because you gotta look at every shirt.
Yeah, you gotta look at every shirt.
You gotta notice when things change on
even
press.
the catcher is important. The person that's literally just catching it and folding it, because they also gotta look at every shirt.
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the problems, I would say more than half of them are caught by the catcher. Because the printer, it's like, okay, it's registered, colors are going good. He's like, I think it looks good. And then they'll go to the catcher, and the catcher will be like, oh, it's a quarter of an inch too high or something.
Yeah.
And like, oh, yeah, I'll fix it. Or they'll be like, hey, I noticed this color is not correct or something like that. Or the pooler will know it too. Usually the screen printer is focusing on registration and
And loading shirts.
loading of the ink, and then the pooler and the catcher are usually the ones that catch most of the problems. They're like, oh, dude, this shit's out of ink.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Some people think that there's only one person that does it all, but there is
No.
the person that loads the inks and the screens. There's a loader, there's a puller, there's a catcher.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
half time we have a supervisor that walks around. A lead or something like that, and then he's overseeing it. He's overseeing that. Usually we have, I think, one guy for 2 presses. So it's like he's overseeing 2 presses. So there's a lot of people that go into it. These people making over $20 an hour, whatever they're making. I don't know, 21, 22, 24, 25. That's a lot of money, and that's why we charge 10% more than most places.
Yeah.
Because we have all these places. Like you go to another shop, shop with 1 auto, maybe 2 autos, maybe even 3 or 4. They might not have a supervisor. They might not even have an ink person to put ink on it. Most of the time, it'll be the owner or the other guys. We gotta stop. And the leader will put ink on it.
Yeah.
We're trying to make everything flow pretty good, like a river. We want things to flow. That's why we have all these steps, problems. When I first
Systems.
system. When I first got into the shop I'm in right now, our new location, I think about it like a bunch of shops that came together and solved a bunch of problems.
Yeah.
Like for my problem was mostly customer service. We're trying to keeping our clients keeping our clients informed. Keeping our clients informed. That was my hardest problem because I was too busy printing. I was the only person that was sales at that time when I think after you left and Brendan was doing sales, but I mean, let's be real, Brendan. And then I don't know if Michael was doing sales at the time, and then Miguel was doing fine, but at that time it was kind of mostly relying on me. And it's okay, now I gotta jump in production. I don't have time to tell these clients X, X, and X, and I don't got time to do this. And then it was hard to we gotta hire somebody, but I don't got time to hire people too. Ads on LinkedIn, man, they charge you per click. It's what? It's dude, what is this BS? You gotta pay a membership to post ads, and you gotta pay per click. It's dude, this is BS.
Yeah.
And then they go, the government's you owe us money for every shirt. I'm what do you mean?
Yeah.
Send a government employee here to work, help me, please.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. So all these things, and that's why now I'm in a new shop. I have more time for customer service. Everybody else has more time to help out, and it's smoother. So that's why we charge more.
Yeah.
Or we don't really charge that much more, but it's usually it's
Yeah, but
5%.
it's just when people complain about price, it's kind of you have to realize that there's so much more that goes into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, people just want their shirts to come out right.
Yeah, I think
That's what I feel is the main motive. You
Yeah.
know, they want to be happy with the result,
Mhm.
and it's you haven't you learned when you go into a cheaper price point, I think the best feeling is because people have sentimental value to the design they made, and it's when you just look at your shirt, don't you want it to be this is exactly the way I want it?
Yeah.
That's that's the best feeling. So if you want to pay maybe 10% more to have that feeling rather than settle for it is what it is, it's okay. It's pay that extra 10% because you're gonna be happy, and then that will translate into you wanting to sell that shirt even more. That'll translate for the client that buys
The
your
customers
shirt.
will come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's a system.
And I'll be honest, man. A lot of my clients they pay more, but they're oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This looks
And
great.
It's also peace of mind because some printers I've heard terrible stories of my printer didn't get back to me in a couple of months. I got my shirts in 2 months, and it's pay that extra 10% for yourself to have peace of mind. That's the most important thing. Peace of mind is the most important thing.
Yeah, trusting them and the peace of mind, And then what's crazy? I just reminded me. One time we had this broker. We don't work with him anymore, but he would accept jobs, and then he would send them to us, but he would never pay for us, and he would never give us art. And we had the clients like come down and like, dude, where's our art? Like, where's our merch? And I'm like, what merch? Like, we don't have an order for you. You didn't pay us. He just dropped off the shirts and then he like, dipped.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's all your stuff? Like, and then we had, and the client ended up having to pay double because he still had to pay us to do the work. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
That's why you have to find someone reputable.
Find
Yeah.
someone you can trust.
Like someone who's like, okay.
And then trust them. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like only work with somebody you trust and then let them go.
Yeah, don't work with
Because
someone
that's the best
block
case scenario.
you. That's gonna block you. Like they gotta have a location that you could go to. You know, they gotta have an address, a couple, maybe a phone number, email, a couple emails. You know, some way to contact. Because sometimes you find people that bad customer service and they're just like, dude, I'm blocked you. I know some people who have actually blocked, like some shops who have blocked customers because they're, in their words, annoying. Like, bro, what do you mean? A customer just wants what's the word? Like, he just wants to be informed. He's asking you for an update.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, blocked. It's like, what do you mean? Like,
Because they give them a 2 week turnaround time and tell them it's gonna be done in 2 weeks, and it's 3 weeks later,
You know, you're like,
and
I'll block you.
they're bugging you.
Yeah.
It's like they're bugging you because you didn't fulfill your promise.
Yeah.
You didn't fulfill
And then you did- on top of that,
your time.
You didn't even inform the client that, hey, by the way, we're taking more time. So a lot of clients will understand if you inform them. Like, hey, you know, I said 2 weeks, you know, and then I know I said 2 weeks, but you know, it's pretty difficult design. We wanted to come out perfect.
Yeah. If you word it like that.
Yeah, if you tell them like, look, we don't want just to give you slop. We want to let you make it look good. The clients will understand. But if you don't talk to them and you're just like, look,
And
3 weeks.
some people wait a week and 6 days to tell them, hey, it'll be done in 3 weeks. But if you know, then look, tell them in a week. Be like, hey, it's gonna be done in 3. That'll give them way more peace of mind.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, at least I know.
Yeah.
At least I'm not waiting, and then I know they told me that it's gonna be done tomorrow, and then they tell me that day that it's gonna be done next week. It's like that's where it's our job.
Yeah.
We're more of like this kind of like therapist in a way. We kind of have to make sure that they feel good about the entire process. That's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
being informed feels good. I've always looked at myself like that. It's customer service. I have to consider their emotions rather than consider the job.
Yeah.
Like the production team is considering the quality of the prints. That's what they're focused on. I'm focusing on making sure the client's happy.
Yeah.
And it's even tougher. It's even a tougher job than making the t-shirts.
Yeah. I know, that's exactly how it is. And another thing too is like, in the past, we've had a lot of problems with, like us, we had a lot of problems with customer service. But it wasn't because I was ghosting, like I said, we were busy. And that's why like, it's better if you're starting production and if you're going to become a shop or a broker, you could easily become too busy to do sales. You could easily too busy to inform clients. And that's when, you know, you got to start hiring people or outsourcing work. You know, because the clients I think are more important. Because, you know, you could have a sick shop with no clients.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could be the greatest separate but no clients.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more about focusing on the client and make sure they're happy, they're informed. And, you know, actually, the happiness for the client, I'm like, look, we gotta both be happy. Because sometimes clients have the unrealistic expectations. That's why we don't want to be like too happy. Like, look, yes, we'll just do whatever you
because
want.
if the printer is sacrificing too much, they're gonna not want to print for them anymore.
Yeah.
And when you already lost the like, oh, I don't really want to print for this person anymore because it just stresses me out.
Yeah, exactly.
The best case scenario is a win-win scenario.
Yeah, like
That's the best case scenario. It's not a win, sacrifice everything scenario.
Yeah,
Because
like-
that'll never work.
Like we'll sacrifice, like sometimes we'll sacrifice things like, oh, you know, we'll give you 10% off, 15% off. But most of the time it's like, because we know you, or we think you'll give you more work, or you're nice, or we feel bad. You know, let's say you're like was it like a Red Cross or something? I don't know. Like, you know the Red Cross,
Blood donations?
is that what it is?
Yeah. American Red Cross?
Yeah. Like, you know, we'll help them out. You know, whatever, the donations, it was donated.
Okay.
You know, like, we used to do wags and walks. I feel bad for those dogs.
I remember you. Yeah, I remember Wags and Walks.
Yeah, we'll give them a discount. But stuff like that is because they're nice to us.
Yeah.
And we want to help them out. You
You
know?
know, when it's a good cause, you want to.
Yeah,
Be
that's
good.
like a sacrifice, but we don't want to sacrifice if we're being treated bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if this client's yelling at me. I've had a client threaten to beat me up. You know, I've had a client threaten to beat Michael up. I've had a client show up to beat Michael up. But then they see Michael, he's a big dude,
Like,
and they're like, oh,
Never
never
mind.
mind. You know, and then stuff like that. So we get threats. We've gotten threats not recently, but like years ago, dude, we get that stuff.
I think the best, like, going back to what we were talking about with like the best clients or the clients that have the best success are the ones that like let go a little bit. I would say like when they're not so emotionally sentimental about their design is when things go right.
Yeah.
When they let go of their emotions and be like, okay, let's look at it on a very surface level, logical level. Things don't go perfect. Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But when they're so emotionally involved into like, but this is how the mock looks. Why doesn't it look like this?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you have to realize that this is a digital mock.
Yeah.
This is RGB and we're going Pantone.
Yeah.
This is, you're doing it on a longer t-shirt and the mock and LA Apparel is this shape, not this shape.
Yeah.
So it's like when you
Exactly.
kind of let go of your emotions and be like, okay, it is gonna be what it is gonna be. And you let go, that's when things go right. That's when things go smooth. And honestly, you're gonna like it at the end of the day. Because it is your design.
Yeah.
When you let go of like it needs to be a 100% perfect, that's when people are like, I love those clients.
Yeah.
Trust me, those printers love those clients. And they're
Yeah.
like, all right,
They need to focus on more of like building the brand rather
Yeah.
than focusing on this specific. Because the design, like we'll handle it. Give us the grace, we'll handle it. There'll be problems, but we'll let you know and work together with you.
Yeah.
You need to focus on building a brand and community.
Yeah.
Get some pop-ups going.
Yeah.
Get some deals, get some collabs. Do other stuff. Don't focus too much on this design needs to be exactly what I want. Because where are you gonna put the design? You don't got a pop-up. Like you could sell it online. Yeah, unless you sell it a lot, but you need to start building a community.
Yeah.
I've like all the brands. I've worked with over 10,000 brands at this point. And a lot of them, the ones that make it, focus on community.
Exactly. The ones that make it, the ones that actually consistently drop, go back to back to back, drop. They're not, their importance is not the end result of the print. Their focus is the end result of when the shirt gets to the client. Like they're thinking about putting stickers into the bags. They're thinking about pop-ups. They're thinking about building community.
Yeah.
Whereas like they don't have, some people let themselves distract themselves on the print end result because they don't want to focus on the rest of it. Trust me, your brand will succeed if you focus on the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right, one thing I will say is pick a printer that you trust
Yeah.
and then let them go.
Yeah.
And then let them go, because it's like an employee. You can't be like on the employee's ass 24/7 being like, you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way. You gotta hire an employee that you trust and let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same way as hiring a manufacturer and letting them go.
Yeah.
It is gonna be what it is gonna be.
Yeah.
And
they
then,
might mess up, they might be a little wrong, but they'll talk to you. They
Yeah.
won't talk to you.
but that's why. Hire somebody you trust.
Yeah.
And sure, know that it's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah, like we had a design recently that was jumbo and it was like it was too tall and didn't make the width and you can explain the plan. And I was like tough, I wanted the design to be big. And it's like, damn. But they trusted, like design looks sick, they're like, okay, well here's the next one, it will look good. It's like, oh yeah, it'll fit the parameter better. I think because we're talking about it ahead of time, they trust us, and all that. So that's why, but they're focusing on, they're already doing like their drops are online, they got a big community, they're focusing on that.
Yeah.
They're sending us artwork and they're like, oh, does this look good? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. That's why you gotta focus on the overall picture.
Yeah, the entire brand rather than just one little aspect of it.
Yeah, because you can have the coolest artwork, you got no one to sell it to. You can sell it to.
Yeah.
If you could get all these customers, loyal customers, you give them, stickers, events, free coupons, crazy pieces, and good prices, they'll keep coming back, as long as we're giving you good art, good production, we give you good quality merch. And if you go, you're worried about my print is $6 and my competitor is $4 or whatever, $3. And I'm gonna go with that guy is $3, but you get a lot of returns and you're gonna lose a lot of customers and your community falls apart.
Yeah, that's honestly why I would say the price should not be the first main
I
priority.
don't really care.
It should honestly be, you pay for peace of mind and you pay for trust, and that's honestly probably the best case scenario for a clothing brand.
Yeah. The only other case scenario I think is if you do it yourself in house. Like if you could get big enough to get your own manufacturer, you do it all in house, and sure, go ahead. But then you gotta learn screen printing, or you gotta buy it. You
That's
gotta
where I'm
pay.
at. That's exactly what I did.
Or you gotta, but you do screen printing. You know screen printing, so you kind of already know, and then you did it. I'm saying like if you're like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself, and you buy an auto, and then you gotta pay for employees. You gotta get OSHA, you gotta follow the laws, you gotta get insurance, all that crap. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, why did I get a screen printing shop? You know, like when I could have just paid the $6 to do a screen printer. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I would say if you're gonna do that route, like love it.
Yeah, you gotta
Love your shirt, love your
Yeah.
art, love your things. Like, cause if you're not
A lot of
gonna,
shops do that though. That's the thing. That's like at the top. Most brands will probably do like most of the stuff in house, but they still have screen printers that can help them. Because you know most brands will get like a manual or like an auto, a small auto, but then they'll do like, oh, we do 10,000 units. You know, we're not gonna do it on the manual. We're gonna send it to a shop.
Yeah.
You know.
your time is more valuable.
Yeah,
than
10,000
money.
units on a manual, you're gonna die. You know, you're
Yeah,
gonna,
so it'll take you a month.
yeah, it'll take you a long time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good. Even if you did that step, you should still have a manufacturer. You should always have a manufacturer.
In mind, yeah.
Like,
Just in case you're gonna have 10,000 units.
yeah, even more, dude. We had this one brand one time. We didn't get the full order, but it was like 100,000 units. We got like a portion of the order.
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell is gonna do 100,000 units? And they wanted it in like 2 weeks, something like that, 3 weeks. It's like no shop. In the national, there's no shop here that can do 100,000 units that quick.
And even then, if you go out international, they have to wait on shipping time.
Yeah, shipping time. There's one shop that's like probably big enough to do it, but like shipping 100,000 teas. So they split it to like I don't know, like a bunch of shops.
20,000 each.
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, that makes sense, but that's the thing. That's all they have. They even have their own autos in house. So they probably did something in house. That's the thing. So they split it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's probably the smartest. You know, if you're doing 100,000 units, you know the money's there.
Yeah.
You know you made a buttload of
Dude,
money.
they need a butt ton.
Yeah.
Dude, the print cost is crazy. I remember looking at the invoice. I was like, whoa, bro, those guys made a
They're-
butt ton.
They're getting it for like what?
And they still
less than $1
they
per
didn't
print.
close the order too. Like they were still selling. So it was at 100,000, and then they're like, "Oh, we need you guys to do these." And I'm like, okay. And then like we're still gonna do more. And it's like, oh, what?
What?
Dude, and then I think we're just, I don't know, I think it was like $9 a key or something like that. So that we were charging them, and they were like, "Dude, I think for 45." I was like, "Dude, there's a fuck ton of money." And that's I think about every once in a while. I was like, "Man, if only I was a brand." You know, if they're the manufacturer, you guys like you make a bunch of money.
Yeah, you probably at the end of the day, let's say a shirt is sold for 45, the brand will make 15. They're using LA Apparel, the LA Apparel will make 10. The printer makes what?
10 to 15. Most likely, what's the time? It's like around.
The brand owner should be making the most money.
Yeah, they usually get like, I would say they come out like 30-40%. It also depends on the design. Like.
And yeah, it depends on how much marketing you do. Like you pay up for photographer, you pay models, like all that goes into it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's worth it, dude. They should get like focus more on the advertising,
yeah,
but more like real life advertising, not like paying for ads.
yeah,
Like photo shoots.
yeah. Making your presentation. That's what they should be focusing
Like
on.
luxury goods. Every time I see these luxury ads, I'm like, man, that's cool.
Because it's so funny, bro. Like I see some shitty ass shirts, and they sell 10,000. And the people that are complaining about the quality, or as far as like it's not representing exactly what they saw, like their design is 10 times better than the shirt selling 10,000. So in that kind of aspect, like let go of the perfection. Focus on community, because community is what makes the emotion for people to buy.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, how close is this halftone compared to this? Like people that buy don't think about that. They think about, what does this shirt make me feel?
Yeah.
And sure, the design does have a 20 to 30% involvement in that, but it's like, it very much depends on how you market your shirts rather than what the design looks like.
Yeah.
I've seen some shirts sell, some shirts are ridiculously ugly.
Yeah, go to the stores. Look at the store,
You
go to
know?
Zumiez and start going through the shirts. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I was at Disneyland a month or so ago for Halloween.
No, man, Disneyland's fucking perfect.
Nah.
Hey, you tell me the story, go ahead.
Yeah, I was at Disneyland. I was like, oh, dude, skeleton shirt. I remember. I was just like, girlfriend, I was like, Jack Skellington. I was like, it's like, this is sick. And like, I pulled the shirt off, and then the one behind it they're selling for $70. The one behind it, registration was completely off, dude. It was like three. It's like, you know when you put on those 3D glasses, you know, like that.
When
And I
it's
was
like double image.
Yeah, and I was like looking at the shirt. I was like, man.
Yeah.
I was telling her, I was like, man, if only I had this contract.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even at the. You don't want that contract.
Disneyland contracts.
Yeah, well, stuff like that. Like when you get so big, it's not worth it. Trust me.
Yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah, but even then, I was looking at it, I was like, dude, somebody's gonna buy this shirt, and they're gonna think it's the coolest shirt ever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be sad, you know.
Because in that aspect, they bought it and they think, oh, I'm wearing Disneyland.
Yeah,
That's what they're thinking.
that's the community.
That's the community that
they
Disneyland built.
sell all these things, and they have all this park. And I'm like, look, we don't really care about the quality. We gotta buy it regardless.
Exactly.
They're gonna buy it. It does not matter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, when I go to stores, I look at the shirts and I'm like, they're like, this is really nice. Like, sometimes Disney has some good stuff. And I'm like, oh, dude, how'd they do this? And then,
Yeah, I think about that all
I
the
look at the
time.
other one, I'm like, oh, yeah, like, looks like shit, you know?
Their puff's insane.
Yeah,
I'll give them
that
that.
thing is crazy.
Their puff is locked in.
Sometimes I see that, I'm like, dude, that's really good. Like, whoever's doing that is, like, nice. There's this one brand called, like, not like UK, it's like, damn, I don't even know what it's called. Planet something?
Oh, Planet Universe?
Yeah, they have puff, other stuff's all
Yeah, I
puff.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, their puff is crazy.
Their marketing is insane
Yeah, dude, I follow them and I go, man, that's a nice puff.
too. Yeah, I know.
I follow them just for the marketing.
Yeah.
And because, you know, the marketing, I like how they do the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm like, dude, that marketing the puff is like amazing.
Their
And
puff
they
is-
must use the same person.
They must do that.
Because that stuff is crazy. But the regular prints, man, this time, I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't buy the stuff.
Really?
I wouldn't know. I don't like it.
Disneyland.
But that puff though is good.
I go into the downtown Disney area where they have all, the
I-
huge
yeah.
store, and I'm like, God.
Their embroidery, I like their embroidery.
Embroidery is insane.
And I love the puff.
I like when they do like a simulator process of all the characters in the castle. Like, I
That's
look at it,
cool.
I study it. I'm like,
It
holy
looks
frick!
sick, but-
And that's all separation.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
yeah.
obviously it's print, but at the same time, the separation, they did it in like 8 colors.
Dude, they probably paid like $2 for that. Maybe less.
No freaking way.
Yeah, you'd be surprised on the pricing. Dude, overseas pricing is insane.
Especially, Disneyland's doing 10,000 units per
Nah,
design.
they're doing it more.
Probably.
Even at 1,000, it's probably $2. Dude. Like, I've gotten some international. I've lost some international projects to like overseas. Yeah, and I'm like, I'll show the pricing to like the rest of the team, and they're like, oh yeah, Ensenada pricing. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I was like, yeah, the pricing over there is crazy. And then they showed me the sheets, and I'm like, what? Like, how does they live and how do they do it? And it's like because of labor laws. And I was like, damn, it's crazy, dude.
I've been thinking about all
They're like
this.
slaving.
Yeah.
They're like slaving away people, dude.
I would love to do that and then pay my people good pricing. Like good
Oh
pay
yeah,
my
because you
people
can pay
well.
a lot more. Like and still
Yeah.
do the work here. You know, take the clients here and go overseas and pay livable wages.
Yeah.
Because they don't even make a bunch of money, but they make
Like
so
I would love for my employees in Mexico to be like, all right, we are freaking rich, but
Yeah.
it's like you're paying way less than what you're paying in California. California
Dude,
is
it's crazy.
California.
You know, I feel like most of the manufacturing is like in California and then like mid United States, and then I think like Florida. I think.
It's Texas, California, especially in LA, and New York are.
They have some big places, but a lot of the big shops are down south. So New York has New York has like a lot of the shops, kind of like how LA is. Downtown LA.
I mean, LA is the hotspot of screen printing.
Oh,
Really,
there's
it
so
is.
many shops.
There's so many.
We have a lot of the big ones too. You know,
Yeah.
there's Ocean Air, Liquid, Killer Merch, and a few other ones.
Yeah, there's
Family
one.
Industries,
Yeah, I'm sure it's big.
a few
Money
other.
Merch.
Yeah, Money Merch. There's a few but big ones, like 15 plus autos. There's like 4 or 5, I think. And those fews, I don't even know what their clients are. You know, like.
But that's the thing. I mean, if there's that much of business in California alone,
And then you
So
got
there's-
everyone in Texas, you got everyone in Chicago, you know, you got everyone in Florida. Like, there's a lot of merch.
it's a lot of T-shirts being made.
And then you got all the
daily.
other small shops too. You know,
There's
that
probably
surviving.
what? Would you say there was 1 billion T-shirts made in California a day?
I wonder if there's a statistic to figure it out. But a day would be crazy.
1 billion T-shirts a day.
I don't know a day, but I remember I was talking to Liquid. They were doing like 200,000 every couple of days. So, you know, not a couple of days. It was like a week.
I
So
would say, nah, I think 1 million might be too much.
a million.
With every single screen printer
It's
combined in
probably
the
over a
entire United
million.
States.
It's probably over a million.
It's probably like
Well, for sure over $1 million. 1,000% over $1 million.
Liquid wasn't even the biggest shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, other shops. So it's like probably like in just LA, it's probably like a couple.
I would say at minimum, 200 million shirts are being printed a day in the United States.
In a day, it's crazy. I'm like, people buy. I think about all the time, man. All these people buying shirts because I don't really buy clothes anymore.
I just print them.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, all those people buying clothes at cost or at like retail cost. You know, or my
The
girlfriend.
fashion industry is insane.
One time I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, "You want this shirt? You want this hoodie?" She's like, "Yeah, how much?" I was like, "It's like, well, it was LA Apparel, so you know, I was like, it was like $40." And she said, "Oh, that's it?" And I was like, $40 wholesale, baby.
Yeah, wholesale.
Wholesale.
That HF09 is like 80 retail or 60.
Yeah, it's something crazy
Something
like that.
70. Let's just
I think it's more than 70. But yeah, and she's like, "Oh, is that good?" I'm like, "That's a lot."
It's a lot
Yeah, you know, we could go
for a
get-
blank hoodie.
Yeah.
Wholesale.
Yeah,
$40.
Right now, I've been loving Cotton Heritage.
Yeah.
No, Cotton Collective. Their
Yeah,
hoodies-
dude. This one right here.
Yeah, their hoodies, dude, are so much
Their
cheaper.
t-shirts are really nice, dude.
Yeah,
Their t-shirts are really nice.
Yeah.
Just the black.
yeah.
It's like $10. Honestly, people should go over there instead of LA Apparel. I'm gonna be honest.
I've switched over a few people.
I'm gonna try.
You should, dude. But I like the hoodies. I think they're better. They're not like the fleece is a little bit different, but I think for the price they're better.
Yeah,
Especially
LA Apparel.
if it's-
I'll give it LA Apparel. LA Apparel is the most unique feel to it because it has that canvasy kind of
yeah,
like
it's really nice.
thickness to it.
It's
It
just
definitely
too
feels
much.
different than I know. It's $40. Is
It's
that
too
LA
much.
Apparel there?
Yeah, this is a zip
I
up.
can tell.
Dude, it's just too much, but I love it, dude. Like it's so nice. It's just, and there's like everybody's like basing it off of it, and all the manufacturers, but no one even like makes. All you gotta do is make an LA Apparel hoodie, cut it in half, you'll get all the work.
Cut it in half. Like
It's the price.
20, yeah.
Yeah, to make it like $25, $20, you get all the work.
I would say honestly, Made is probably one of the closest.
Oh yeah, I like Made. I just don't like t-shirts.
Yeah.
I don't like
We don't
the
think we're gonna
cuts.
talk about.
I don't
We
like
talk
the
about
cuts.
Made fleece,
Yeah,
t-shirts or
I
whatever.
don't like the fleece. They have really cool colors.
They have really nice fleece.
I have this wax hoodie that they did, and it's really fucking cool. Dude. And it's like it's a zip up and it has like this wax color all over it, but it's like gray silver.
Yeah, they do some weird ass
And I'm like, what even is this?
tie dye stuff, which is
Yeah.
really cool. That's the only company that I know that does that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all places just cost money, and they're
Yeah,
just
they
like,
do big
here you
custom.
go.
Yeah, but Made literally just makes a whole bunch of one kind of like one of a kind color stuff, and they're like, "Hey, here it is, wholesale."
Yeah, somebody just needs to just be like Made, but closer to LA Apparel. Just be Made prices. You win. You win. I've thought about it, but it just costs so much money.
It's like a beat with LA Apparel.
Yeah, it would just cost too much money. And I'm not rich. You know, I know if a billionaire wants to help
Invest
us
in me.
Yeah, invest in this, we can do it. But it probably costs like millions of dollars to, because you need inventory. The thing with LA Apparel, there are people out there that can beat the quality, right? But they can't beat the manufacturing speed.
Yeah, they have inventory
Inventory.
and they have their warehouse and manufacturing right there. So they're like, "Oh, we're running out of
It's like a-
HF09
it's
black."
city.
They're gonna be like, "Boom, boom."
It's like their own city. They got food there. No one's got to leave.
I know. They
Yeah.
got tacos right outside.
You know,
I know.
every time I go, I'm like, dude, this is cool. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
should
like,
live right
it's
here.
like a whole city right there.
Yeah, that's why no one else could compete. Like, you go to like Shaka, there's like a barren wasteland, dude. I'm like, where is this? Is this the building?
Yeah.
You know anywhere else, and it's like this warehouse, and you're like, this is it. You go to LA Apparel, it's like, oh yeah, go down the street. You go there, like, where's the shirt? Like, oh yeah, go to shipping and get past the food guys, they got a store or two.
Yeah, I was there.
There's- Yeah, I saw it. And then they're like, oh yeah, and then it'll be over there by where the housing is,
Yeah.
It's like, housing? People live here?
They got, you go into their will call and you see at least 20 employees gone. You go to Shaka, you see 3.
And you know what's so crazy? That's their will call. They have a whole nother storage unit of like other orders. And I was like, what is even going on?
I know.
And it's like, yeah, we do all
It's because they're selling their hoodies for $40.
Yeah, and it's like,
they're getting 50% profit
they
off
even
of
do
that.
screen printing. I don't know where they do screen printing,
I haven't seen it.
but they do it. I don't know where. Somewhere hidden.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, and I don't trust the screen printing. I've seen it. It's not that good. Yeah, they're gonna come after me now.
if LA Apparel is watching this podcast, great.
They're gonna go missing. I'm scared, dude.
Now we
Everyone
know.
over there. Oh, like where's what's that guy's name? Don.
I just read his certificate yesterday. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I read it all the time. Like,
Oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's alright.
He's an interesting man. I met him once.
There's a documentary about him, I think, on Netflix.
I'll watch it.
No, I think it's called American Apparel.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you should watch it. You'll know more about or dad, whatever the hell his name
He's
is.
an interesting guy.
Yeah, but yeah, the blanks. If I was cool with blanks.
Yeah, he's a genius when it comes to blanks.
Yeah.
To be honest. He's
Yeah,
a
that
genius.
shirt has changed my life. To be honest.
Yeah, I
I'm wearing
like
the new one right here. This is like a different colorway.
Is it the mock neck or is it the?
No, it's like the ringer.
Oh, I see.
See,
So
two different
it's like a
colors.
black edge with a black.
Dude, it's dope. Yeah, I love the deluxe tee too. Have you seen
Right
that?
here.
Dude, it's sick.
It's nice. It
And
is
then
nice.
I think they have like a workman tee.
Yeah, Workman, they have a deluxe. The Workman is 9 ounces.
That's crazy.
The deluxe is
I think it's 7.5.
7.5.
I think so. And that's good too. I like heavyweight t-shirts, man. I hate, you know one thing about working with promo is like everyone wants like 4.5 and under. And it's like, okay, I guess the,
Next level.
yeah, and I guess the mass majority of people don't even know heavyweight t-shirts. It's what I've learned working with like
Street
movie,
wear.
yeah,
Streetwears.
no, not streetwear is all heavyweight, but I mean working with promotion. It's like most people don't even know what heavyweight. Most people don't even know what it's. They see a 7-ounce tee, they think it's a hoodie.
Isn't that funny though? We just talked about how LA Apparel is crazy numbers, but majority of people don't even wear heavyweight.
Yeah, that's
Like-
crazy. There's still an untapped
Just
market.
imagine how much shirts are being made of it, dude.
Yeah, dude, that promotion is crazy. Next level is selling probably more than LA Apparel. Yeah, probably. Probably not next level. It's probably like maybe
Bell
it is. Nah, Bell and Campus. There's one brand. What is it? It probably is next level. I'm thinking about. Oh, Lane 7. Lane 7 or Bell and Campus? No, not Lane 7. Next level. It has to be next
No,
level.
that's not
It has to be next level, dude. They're probably doing more than LA Apparel. Just because LA Apparel is a streetwear, but Lane 7 is mostly used for promotion.
next.
Literally everything else.
Yeah.
And everyone.
Every single one of my restaurants use Next Level.
Yeah.
One of my gyms were use Next Level.
Yeah.
So
Like
Yeah.
all the music, more music lately has been transitioning to heavyweight t-shirts, but before it was like all next level, you know. And then you got everyone that's doing it in like the middle of the United States, Texas, all those guys, those big shops that have like 15 autos, pretty all next level, pretty much. They don't even want to bring the LA Pros over. It costs too much to ship them.
yeah, LA Pro like charges shipping. Next
Yeah.
Level doesn't. So it's
Yeah, exactly. So that's the
like,
thing.
and it's $4 less. $5
And
less.
these corporate clients are not going to know. You know, you charge. I think next level is really cheap, and you charge like double it.
Yeah,
You
especially
know.
if you're doing numbers, they'll bring down the price.
I remember there's this Halloween client I had, dude. They were doing like 30,000 units a drop, and their T-shirt of choice was Bell and Canvas. And the reason why they're like, oh yeah, we love this T-shirt. I'm like, you love this T-shirt?
I'll be honest, Bella Canvas
I don't like
Buns.
it. Yeah, it's
is not great.
it's like a shirt you give someone that you don't like.
you
know?
Like honestly, I like
Watch,
Gildan soft style, but I like
watch.
Bella
I'm
Canvas.
gonna end up giving it to like my girlfriend or something. You said you don't like
Bella
it.
Canvas? Like,
Yeah, or something like that. But no, it's a shirt. You
No,
give to,
I like the Bella Canvas community. Like the company, I
It
like
feels
them. And
good.
ISS, they're good people.
Yeah, the shirt. Yeah, they
But they're just like what is it? They're 3,000.
yeah, they're printing. I don't like the way it feels.
Every single time you take it off the press, it stretches
Yeah.
because the elastic is so.
It's like a T-shirt that shouldn't be printed. It's more like a T-shirt you
You
wear for
wear.
comfort.
Yeah.
You know, you want to wear it at home. You want to watch a movie.
Yeah.
You put it on. You put the
But
shirt
it's
on.
just for
when you're comfortable.
printability is not the best.
Yeah, the print shouldn't just be like this big. You know, it doesn't. The prints don't
If
seem.
you're gonna go black on white, sure, Bella Canvas.
Yeah, but
But anything else, putting white on
yeah,
black.
they wanted 30,000 black pieces, like, and then the prints are big, and I'm like, wow, you know, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we don't want anything else. Like, you sure you don't want this shirt that's like costs the same but significantly better?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we only use Bell and Canvas. Even the Bell and Canvas hoodies, the sponge hoodies.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
Don't even use sponge. Sponge is gonna shrink. It's gonna go. And it's
Yeah, it
gonna.
doesn't even hold. Like the restoration is hard. I'm like, dude, why?
Yeah, because the glue is on one layer, and then the sponge is
Yeah.
such like a big movement
Yeah.
on top that it really, literally would not land.
That's
on.
why, like, if you do these jumbos, you gotta use the heavyweight t-shirts. You gotta use these things like LA Pearl, not even LA Pearl, like Lane 7.
Urban.
You know, that thing is really good. Potted Heritage. You gotta use shirts. Items are made for it, for the
Yeah.
streetwear. Bell Canvas is not streetwear. Bell Canvas is more like promotional items. You know, that's why
Small
you gotta know.
logos.
You gotta know the difference. you know, like what's promotion and what's streetwear. And
You don't
what's-
want to do a 12-color print on a Bella canvas.
Oh yeah, dude, you do that would be crazy. You know, I mean, the print would probably go through the T-shirt. You know, because Bella is so thin and so not good. You know that's they make good women wear. I'll tell you that.
Yes, they do.
Not all the brands make good women wear. Like there's really not a lot.
Because they do specialize in that.
Yeah, like LA Apparel.
You go to the ISS and it's just
Yeah.
girls
Exactly.
working.
A lot of women wear because you know that's a big market. No other brand. Pretty much just
It's
there
very
on
much
LA
fashion
Apparel.
forward. They do it like, oh, we're gonna be the trendsetters.
Yeah.
This is that good. They should focus on that.
Yeah. So I guess if anyone wants to make a women wear brand,
We want to compete. There's only one competitor.
really there's LA
There
Apparel,
are gonna
but LA Apparel.
It's like
they're
saying
too
there's other
expensive.
competitors with heavyweight T-shirts that are 6.5. It's like we all know who the king is.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, welcome back. The camera died a long time ago. We have no idea when it happened, but I want to say thank you for joining us, Jacob.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
One thing I did want to mention, and I did mention already, but like honestly, Dreamster Studios would straight up honestly not be here. It would not be here if it wasn't for you. You taught me everything about how to sell. You taught me a lot about t-shirts, blanks, which is something that I have a huge passion for now. And you kind of put that in my brain, so I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you've done. Like, thank you for teaching me.
No worries. Thank you for listening. I remember, you did have a crazy passion. I remember you'd come in all happy every day.
Yeah.
Like, why are you happy?
I know. You and Michael used to be like, just stop being so happy. Like, why do you love teachers so much? I'm like,
To be fair, it was like 5 in the morning. You'd be all happy. I'm like, dead. Like, dude, please don't be happy till 9 a.m. Dude, wait till 10.
yeah.
And you'd be like 5, 6 in the morning.
Look at this print. Like, look
Yeah.
at this screen print.
And I'd be dying.
Yeah.
And like, oh, like what's going on?
I remember that one coffee puff, like 8-color puff coffee print that we did.
Uh-huh.
I remember that was like a super, like that was like one of those most inspiring shirts I've ever seen. It was a coffee shop merch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember it. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. I think it was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But yes, this is our closeout. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you coming on. I know you have a lot of time. You're busy, so I appreciate you joining us here, and I appreciate you all for watching. So
Thank you guys.
thank you guys very much. All right.
Uh,
Jacob?
Yeah.
Thank you guys.